Bold of you to assume that I'm not already in his DMs.
Oh, I love starting off the streams with a fucking laugh. That was great. Everybody in the chat, Marie and Ollie and Commander and SPM, welcome. You guys all know all of us, but we have a new friend here, friend of Holy Spackles, and Laura came over to hang out with us, and so she can join our little community here. Seems really nice. So everybody say hello. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, you got a howdy from Ollie. That's pretty good.
Howdy.
He's not quite too stoned yet. He can still type. Maya. What about the time, Maya? I started like 1 minute late. I usually start 5 minutes late. Like I'm on the ball today.
We're as early as we get.
And actually, my Twitch notification just went off, so that was actually really fast that it started streaming that quickly on Twitch. And JR's here. So what's on everybody's minds? Bring up a topic. Tell me what's going on. How was your day?
I'm exhausted, not ordering food right now.
You know what? My day has been a bit exhausting as well. I've had 2 naps today. I'm starting to think I'm becoming a cat.
I did that on my days off because we had because I work in a doctor's office, so we worked. They were supposed to have us work half a day Wednesday and then work Friday a whole day, or a whole day Wednesday, half a day Friday, or whatever. And Heather was like, "No, that's bullshit. What if you guys want to go somewhere and see your family? You can't even fucking go anywhere." So she said, "Work all day Wednesday, take Friday off. Screw that shit. We'll pay you guys." And I was like, "All right, So Friday and Saturday, I didn't really have anything to do, and I was like hitting people up on Twitter, like, "What are you doing? I'm bored," And so I ended up taking 2 naps each day. I just got lazy. I smoked a bunch of weed and I just fucking sat around and I was on YouTube and just bullshitting. And then I took like 2 naps. I got up and I was like half asleep and I get on a stream and fucking start drinking. I was just like, fuck it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a cat. You're damn straight, Jay. They have it made. They come in, you feed them, you house them, you water them, you clean up their shit. And they are totally in charge. So yeah, it's nothing wrong with being a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had 2 cats in my time, not including family pets from when I was a kid. But but both are now dead. But of course, they had good, happy lives.
Yeah, I have 2 cats as well. Oh, wait a minute, Bolt has returned. Let's bring him in.
I am here. Hello.
Hi, here. I am Beck.
Hi, Beck.
Ben.
I'm Ben. I've met Catnip.
So
I fucking hope you have.
Oh my God, you too. Stop. So next to you is Laura Bolt, and Laura is a new friend sent over by Holy Spackle.
Awesome.
So yeah, we were just welcoming her to the community and everything. So
yeah, welcome.
Yeah, I'm British, I'm afraid.
Well, my wife's British. You're good.
It's okay. We don't hold anything against you as long as you're not like from Australia. Because
as long as you're not stool.
I literally said that just in case Polymathic Jen watches this later.
Ironically, Stool lives in the same area as I do.
Oh yeah, I know you and him and Wildheart.
Yeah,
I'll just knock on each other's walls and talk, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't type enough to say what's on my mind. JR, go ahead, buddy. We'll listen. We'll even talk about it. I apologize, Ollie. I made an accusation I was not sure about, so I apologize. Hugs, whatever you
Hey,
need.
Ollie, it's okay. I got so drunk last night I couldn't fucking read. That's never happened before.
Yeah, I was having to read things for you.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't read?
I was so drunk I couldn't read.
I don't know if that's ever happened to me. I mean, I've been so drunk I couldn't walk, but I guess I wasn't reading anything if I was looking at the ground anyways, right? How would I know?
Pretty sure she couldn't walk either.
I remember when I was like Catnip's. No, I was younger than Cat. My teenage years from 16 to 18, I was a little fucking firecracker. And I would just
when did you
fucking
stop?
going around and be like, "What? You got alcohol? Be right over." Like I didn't give a shit. So, what, JR? What nurses? Are you in a hospital? What's going on?
Now it
anyways.
looks like nurses have pissed him off. He's used 3 S's.
Yeah, they really pissed him off.
Yeah.
So
Good
pissed.
catch, Laura. I didn't even see it. I was just playing, Ollie. I know you're a big guy. You can take it. Bull, what have you been up to? How's work?
Works all right. I'm Uber for packages. So
Well, I mean, it could be a bad or good day still.
yeah, I mean, I don't do it every day. I do it when I want to.
Oh, okay.
I made about $30 an hour last weekend
Huh.
after tips.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Cancer doc. Oh, JR. You know, I gotta say, we have a patient. She's been on chemo and stuff and all this crap for a while. She's had like cancer twice, and it came back. And she walked in today for the first time in like 2 months, and she looked fucking great. And I was like, this is the best I've ever fucking seen you, because the whole time I've been there, because I've only been there, 6.5 months now, 7 months. The whole time I've been there, I've only seen her like 3 times, and the other 2 times she just looked so pale and she was barely walking, and and now she's like getting stronger and her skin color's back and she looks great. So never know. There's always hope. Always hope.
This is true.
That's why we need people like Ben.
That's
Come on,
true.
Ben.
I don't know if you need people like me.
What are you talking about, dude? You're gonna be
I sure
fucking
know that we
amazing.
need
And
people
family
like you.
You need
practitioners
better people
are the
than me.
ones that catch that shit to begin with and send those fucking patients to the right place.
Yeah, but I don't know if you need me.
Yes, we need
Shut
you.
up, Ben.
We do. We need you. Specifically, we need Ben.
I would
better-
fucking I would just be a mess. I would just I think I might even cry. And that's, by the way, that's really hard to do on testosterone. Like, I wanted to cry the other day with my girlfriend. I was like, sorry, babe, I can't. Testosterone. She's like, it's all right, I know. Fuck, I don't know why. Do you find that too, Ben? You're more like stoic?
Yep. Emotions
Nice.
are like they're less strong now.
Right.
Except for like frustration. That happens a lot more frequently, I think. Like
Yeah.
anger happens
Oh,
more
hey,
frequently.
Our one and
That
only
doesn't,
Dick is
I
in the
haven't
chat.
found that yet, but you've been on.
Hey, Dick's here.
Dick! I sent
Yeah,
him a link just in case a little.
Dick.
The only dick. Laura, just so you know, we have here's my rule for my stream. Don't be a dick. That's it. And so the only dick we allow in here is Dick Dawson.
He's the best Dick of all.
He is the best dick. He's our favorite dick.
He really,
I-
truly, honestly is.
The only dick for me.
My mantra sort of for people is, treat everyone with respect until they prove they don't deserve it.
That's a good one.
Oh, absolutely. That's how I am. I tell people all the time, I love everybody until you give me a reason not to. Then I won't love you anymore. But, that's on you.
Pretty much.
If you want to lose that, that's on you, because I love with all my heart. So
Yeah, don't Google think people you like then. Pop stars,
Don't
TV
Google.
stars, whatever, because usually you find something about them you don't like and that takes it off,
it's true. Yes, sometimes we get some dicks in here. My point is that they're not appreciated and not allowed, and they get kicked out.
They show up, but then we get rid of them.
I think my when I came out on YouTube because I'm somewhat active in a little corner of the internet.
Oh, good.
And I thought, well, I'm not going to sort of give all that stuff up because I'm making a change in my life. So it's basically, hey, this is what's happening, and it just leaves people to continue on the train that is my journey, or get off and find another form of transport, basically. But almost universally, I was accepted and approved of. It was only the right-wing evangelical assholes that I encountered here and there that really tried giving any grief, but I don't care about what they think anyway, so it didn't matter
Good
to me.
for you. Good for
But
you.
my absolute favorite one, there's a character called Jesus is Lord. You may have heard of him.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
God. Everybody knows Jill.
Okay, right. So Jill has this really amazing ability to believe two opposite things at the same time, which I find fascinating. You know, like for example, he said he was in favor of free trade capitalism, but also in favor of Donald Trump's trade tariffs. And it's like, you need to look at what free trade means, because it literally says there are no tariffs. If there are tariffs, it's no longer free trade. But you know,
Right.
but he was my favorite one of the haters, I suppose, when I came out. So he blocks all the women in the community. You know, he's a massive chauvinist. So if he, so if he blocks them all, he can't be arseholes to them either. So his reaction to me was, "You're a man. You will always be a man, and I will only ever treat you like a man." And then he went and blocked me, like he blocks all the women. It's like,
Well, then what the fuck is that?
you know,
That's BS.
First of all, you're fucking wrong, asshole. Second of all, fuck you. Like,
well,
seriously.
no, it's not that. It's the fact that at the same time as he's being a dick,
No, that's what I'm saying.
He's
If you're going to
actually
say someone's
feeding
not a
right
fucking
into
woman, then why are you treating them like a woman?
exactly. You
Yeah,
know,
it's fucking, it's counterintuitive.
yeah. So that just made
let
me laugh. It really did.
So for all you guys that just showed up, Laura came on over here, Holy Spackle Center, and so far she's brilliant and great, and everybody get to know her. Cadence, I love you, Cadence. Fucking love you, Cadence. So yeah, so whoever doesn't know her, and hey, if you have the link to your channel, I'll put it in the chat so everybody can go check you out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
Oh yeah, I shell the shit out of everybody. Unless they're Dick Dawson. He doesn't need it. He is a shill.
Literally.
Literally, he's one of the shills. Yeah. Hey Kyle. Yeah, like Stan, right.
B, did you
Yeah,
see what
that's my
Spackle
channel.
said in the chat?
Oh, who said what?
Did you see what Spackle said in the chat?
Oh no, I didn't even. Where's Spackle?
That's,
How did I miss Spackle? Oh,
cheers.
okay, honey. That's fine. You're always welcome whenever. You know we're not stopping anytime soon because we just started, so you have plenty of time. Maya said Laura's great. Can't say enough good things about her. See, Maya's goes around to a lot of channels. She knows more people than I do, and that's saying something. That is definitely saying something. Thanks, Laura. Let me put that in there. Hey, Ox, add this to your show list there, buddy.
Is Ox even here? I haven't seen him yet.
He is.
I mean, I'm sure he is. He always exists somewhere.
Well, he's over on. No, actually, that's right. He's not over here yet. I was over on Granny's and came over. That's where I saw him.
Yeah.
Wild Heart's asking for the link.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Are you gonna shave your pubes online again?
Oh, God. Not
Oh
again.
yeah, no, I can't even imagine, honestly, Christian. I mean, it makes me sick, so I can't even imagine what you guys go through. I truly, the most I can compare it to is LGBTQ plus phobes. So no, I really don't know. Hey, Facty, welcome. Yeah, yeah, Dick, I saw him over on Granny's. I just fucked up in my head. I don't know. I need to smoke more pot. But anyways, it's actually a good topic there. That is a good topic. You know, because they get these random cases that are more high profile because they involve cops. And then that's the only time everybody talks about BLM. And then it stops. And then something else happens. And then they talk about it again. But we really should talk about it all the time. Bottom line. So I talked to Laura in the GDC. What's GDC Discord?
Great Debate Community.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. That's right. Not sure if she remembers me, but she really helped me understand the trans perspective when I knew none. Maya, you should have asked me, honey. I would have got on a private stream with you and told you my whole life and told you all kinds of shit. And just to reiterate to anybody out there that doesn't know, as long as you're respectful, you can ask anything here. That's the only rule. Goes right back to don't be a dick. Come Ben.
Yep. Unless
What'd you
you're
order
Dick
for
Dog.
food?
I'm working on ordering it because I found out there's this place near me, and it's a Chinese place, but they do this, like, you know, the places that like make their own noodles and they like spin them. Okay, so there's a place like that, so I'm ordering from them.
Nice.
Especially
Now
like
I'm
if I can
hungry.
support like small businesses, like run like by families and
Right.
like immigrant families and stuff. Like, of
Yeah.
course, I'm gonna support like those
Well, hell yeah.
businesses over,
I'm all
over
about the mom and
something
pop
like
places. If
yeah.
I can, yeah.
Why am I not in the chat? Because I'm ordering food.
Hey, Dick, we all have priorities. And for me, Ben, it's
Priority.
usually
Because he's busy.
with some kind of a
I'm
starch.
busy
That's
with
usually the
foods.
priority. What'd you say there? It was 2 years ago, Maya. Okay, I apologize. Yes, Cadence, asking you anything is dangerous. It's true. Well, JR, ask any questions you got, buddy. We don't mind. Seriously.
And you know, I'm still learning things.
Well, yeah, we are always learning.
Everyone's
Isn't that the
learning
point of
things
life?
always.
What else is there if you're not like growing, learning, influencing other people in a good way, you know, lifting each other up instead of knocking each other down? What the hell's the point?
Yeah. You know, that's actually my pinned tweet, which is, you know, despite the reputation of it being a, you know, sort of cesspool of awfulness, actually there's a lot of support there if you're trans.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're all about supporting everybody here. I mean, I'll even support a Christian as long as they're not rude when they come in.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
You know, as long as people are respectful of each other and show some love, then I'm good with it.
I've got several friends that are Christians and are lovely people.
Yeah, I mean, my brother's a theist. I mean, hard theist.
And we
do
love
not agree
Richard.
on that shit, but I love my brother, and he's a great dude. So,
Haven't
Wait,
been so
what?
great with my family, sadly.
what? How did you? What clan? Like KKK? No. Fuck did you? Oh my god. Ugh. You know, I think that there's a lot of people out there that get jealous of other people because they're like, I don't know, more learned or more intelligent or more kind or more whatever. And because they don't have that in themselves and they fucking pick on people. And it's so irritating. Like, can't you just accept that? I mean, there's lots of people that are more intelligent than me. I don't know shit. And I will fucking gladly admit that. And I'm not jealous of anybody. So, like, I don't know how people... I don't know shit. I went to fucking college for 2 months for EMT basic school. That's it. That's my college education. So, I just don't know how people can treat each other like that.
You got to college? Yeah.
Huh?
You got to college?
I ain't got no college, buddy. I ain't got nothing over here. People bring up top and say, hey, what do you think, B? And I say, I don't know shit. You just go right ahead and talk about it. I'm just going to sit here and fucking smoke some pot and shut my mouth. That's right.
Thanks for letting me know. Thank you.
Kyle, you need to buy a new mirror, sir. You're a good-looking guy, so fuck off. I'll get mad at you if you dine yourself
Agreed.
like that again.
Also, you should come hang out with us.
Also, I love
more.
you. JR. I'm happy lots of people are smarter than me.
It'd be really boring to have to hang out with people who are always dumber than you.
What, Christian? You're hanging out with the wrong motherfuckers. Play D&D with us.
Hell yeah.
What?
Yeah, seriously.
What? Actually, I'd love to have you on our D&D. Cat can make you appear somewhere. We can bump into you in a bar and take you with us.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, where we're at, we're due to go to a bar soon. So
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you guys, when we start up again, you guys are getting off a boat. What's left of a boat.
Wait,
fuck
where
off
had
to
it?
all people who say fuck offs to everyone, huh? Phoebe's drunk.
Oh, Phoebe.
Just ignore her.
I love Phoebe.
Yeah, no, I know, Christian. Ben and I were actually, which I can't really say anything about it right now, but Ben and I were discussing people in the community not being all inclusive and having their little cliques and stuff, and how they want to kick everybody out of it. And Christian is a great example of that, because he's already been through that shit this year. And we were discussing with this person getting more, doing streams to get more information out there to open people's eyes and start conversations, and not yelling and debating and kicking each other and being rude, but having respectful conversations that can lead to hopefully good knowledge and more inclusiveness. So,
Christian, are we connected on Twitter? I don't know if we are. Of course, Phoebe.
SPM, we've been taking a break because Kat's just been really busy with a lot of crap in her life.
Yeah,
but
my life got
normally-
really chaotic.
Yeah, but normally
But,
we stream about what is that, 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern, and we do
No,
it
it's
on
it's like 8 Eastern because it's like 5 Pacific.
5 Pacific. Oh, I thought it was 4 or 5 my time. Oh, I must fuck something up there. Okay, anyway, so about 8 p.m. Eastern, and we do it through Kat's Discord, and then she streams it live on Twitch. So,
Yeah.
Can I bring a topic? Why B, not just B? Why am I not a moderator on your YouTube channel?
Give him
What?
a spanner.
I don't know, dude.
No, I had to fight for so long to get
You're
my
not loyal
spanner.
enough. You're not loyal enough. Catnip just got hers the other day.
I'm
You gotta
just
go
I've
for
been
like,
around for like
How much-
ever.
Catnip, I've known you for like 2 years. So, okay, wild hard, get back to me in 1 year, 11 months, and about 15 days, and
Right.
then I'll give you a
That's fine.
spanner. All right, buddy.
Yeah, see,
You're-
there you
So
go.
obviously, you're no Oprah.
your channel, your rules. Sorry.
Yeah, you're no Oprah Winfrey. Spanners for everybody.
Yeah, right. Almost.
Speaking of-
but honestly, everybody in this chat that has spanners, I've known them for like almost at least a year, if not 2 years. So, it's
Yeah.
not that I give them out freely. It's just that I know a lot of fucking great people.
Your channel, your
Christian,
rules.
Hey, how's it going?
Howdy.
you know what? I am fucking great, buddy. How are you?
I would have to agree with that. It's been a really good week.
Good. See, that's the key, Christian, is when these people are assholes, just go, you know what? Here's my thing. This is what I do. If someone
I've been-
upsets me and they insult me, this is what I do. I go, wait a minute. Who am I? And I think about who I am as a person, and I know that they're wrong, and I just don't care. I just don't care. Fuck 'em.
Just having fun, enjoying
Yeah.
life, etc.
So,
Yeah,
Catnip,
from-
I need to clip
Catnip.
something from your channel.
Oh, I'm sorry. What, Ben?
Oh, Catnip, I need to find, because I was talking to Phoebe about something that happened yesterday during Quiplash when I don't remember what the question was, where it's something insulting, and then I said, is there something insulting about men from, and then I put England, and Stool was in the group. I need to find that clip because I need to send it to Phoebe because I
I don't
insulted
know. I don't know.
Englishmen.
If, like the whole probably beginning half of the stream didn't have any fucking audio because OBS changed
Okay,
my
well,
audio
as long
feed.
as we can read the question,
Yeah,
that's all that I
you
care
can still
about.
find it.
Phoebe, that doesn't make any sense to me. Could you please retype that? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what that is.
I'm sure what was supposed to be when. So when
Well,
do you
Phoebe's already
get
interviewed
interviewed
me,
by
but
you?
she does want to do another one to like, because when she interviewed me, I had just, what was I, like 2 weeks on T, I think. So she did say she wanted to interview me again here soon, but I don't know when that is.
Also, if anyone wants to get in touch with Stool, I live about 2 miles from him, so I could literally walk to his house, but he won't give me his address. Damn it!
I
You
wouldn't
know,
give it to you
Stool-
either. You might go shave your pubes in his house or some shit.
You know
Put your
which
tail
direction
nose
he
on the
lives from?
floor.
You know which direction it is, so you just go 2 miles that direction and just start shouting.
Yeah, but he won't give me his exact
happened?
address.
I
Did you
mean,
do that intentionally?
I wouldn't either.
That's fair enough.
How did you get kicked?
You know what? I don't think I've ever seen Stool smile.
If you don't want to be here, you can kick yourself again, though.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Stool smile. I'm not sure he's got a full set of teeth. You know, like
I've seen him smirk. I've seen him smirk many a time,
Yeah,
but
many
not
times.
never like a full smile.
yeah. So I'm not sure if he has any teeth at all.
No, there's
I've
no
never
teeth
seen
there.
them.
No, probably not.
That would be great, Phoebe, and I will talk to my son and find out when is a good 2 days of a week of any certain week, and I will let you know and see if he wants to do that with me and if he has time. He's doing a lot of shit and moving right now, though, so it might be like a month before he has any time, but or a couple weeks.
Kat,
Hey,
if I think
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I think the thing that I was talking about was before we started streaming, so I don't think I can find it.
Oof.
And I'm really sad.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh.
I'll have to insult
Hmm.
Englishmen again a different time,
Damn.
and then send it to Phoebe.
Yes.
Can someone send me the link to like the session thing, the playlist or whatever?
Playlist for
For what exactly?
The D&D stuff. I thought we were doing. You did it online, so there was like videos of it.
Oh, it's
no.
on Catnip's Twitch, right?
Oh, got it. Okay.
The very
Yeah.
first session I didn't record because I didn't have anything set up for it. And the second one I did record, but I only recorded like half of it because my dumbass forgot to hit start.
I do want to point
It's
out
chaos
something.
is what it is.
Yeah,
And then
do wanna-
this next one will be like the third time we've had the crew together. So
I just want
Okay,
to point
okay.
out either Wildheart has moved his keyboard close to the camera, or Wildheart's got a very, very, very large keyboard.
No, I've got my. It's a table on wheels.
No,
So,
what it is he
When we get
has,
ready on that.
he has little
Yeah.
dick syndrome, so he bought a really big keyboard. Because where you guys live, he doesn't need to have a vehicle; he can walk everywhere. So he just got a really big keyboard.
Yeah, he didn't need the pickup truck.
Yeah, in the United States, they buy a pickup truck and they jack. It's funny because every time I see a Ford that's overdone, Ford pickup that's overdone and jacked up in the air, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you got a little
Right.
dick,
I always
buddy.
feel sorry
Because
for
that's
them.
exactly what it is. It's never failed me. Every time I've met somebody that drives a jacked up, oversized, tired KC lights or whatever Ford pickup, they have little dick syndrome. It's pretty consistent. Phoebe, if you can find more trans men in this community besides like me, Ben, and one other guy, let me know because we need to be friends. Because I can't find it. Ben was right. I never realized it. Ben said, it's all trans women. Like, when do we have a voice?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're right. It's
We're
all
gonna-
fucking trans women.
Yeah, we need to do some more stuff for trans men's visibility. And Phoebe and I have some ideas about that too. Because I do want to talk about, like, I think there's a lot culturally with, like, the fact that trans guys, like, we were raised to be women. We were raised to be quiet. We were raised that we didn't matter. And then going out and entering men's society, still having that baggage of, I don't matter. And, like, I'm not confident. Like, I was taught to sit in the back and that, like, I think there's a lot of culture that goes into how, like, why trans men aren't as vocal. And some of that has to do with, like, being able to stealth easier. Some guys will just, like, go stealth and never talk about being trans again.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I do think, like, misogyny has a lot to play into it because we face it like from both ends, and
Yes.
because we're still labeled as women by society.
Yeah. Which is so insane to me that anybody could label me and Ben as a fucking female.
I know that.
We are like so not that and never have been. Hey, you know, oh, thank you, Catnip. I was going to ask you if you wanted to put it in there or if.
Yeah, I was getting
Okay,
to it.
thank you for that. I was just about to ask you.
It was
Fuck,
a
what was I
rite
gonna
of
say?
passage for me when I had someone mansplain something to me.
Yeah, I get mansplained too still, and it's funny.
Can I bring up a topic? I was in Psychopath Atheist stream, and I was saying, once you find out that someone is trans, ask them what they want to be called, and then call them that. And they seem to have a problem with it, and I can't work out why.
Yeah, it's not really hard, is it?
No.
You know, it's just like this. I spent years in retail. I was a retail manager for years. And I dealt with a lot of fucking customers. And there's some women that would want to be called ma'am. Some would want to be called by their name. Some would want to be, but some of them would not get offended by hun or sweetheart or dear. And some of them would get really offended by it.
It's just
like it's the same damn thing.
It's just basic human decency and politeness. Just ask someone what they want to be called, and then once to say what they want to be called, just call them that. What is the problem?
Yeah. I used to call my boss all the time, who I'm friends with now, not my girlfriend, but the other one. I used to call her ma'am all the time, and finally, that like a couple weeks ago, she was like, "Stop with the ma'am." And I said, "I'm sorry." Between the military and my mom being like, "You treat women with respect, God damn it," I don't know how to not say. So I had to I was like, "Yes, ma'am." Sure, Deb, I'll get that now for you. You know, like, damn. I had to train myself not to say ma'am to her because she just doesn't. She's like, no, we're like family. There's none of that shit. So it's like I gotta retrain my brain.
Your mother was a nurse as well, because Richard has been giving me medical advice. So no, your mother was a nurse. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, she was a nurse and then became she actually went to nursing school, had all of us, went back to nursing school and got her degree. And actually she was literally 2 weeks at the end of it. And somebody died who she became attached to, who was a long-term patient in the hospital. And she went back to school and became a chemistry and biology teacher. She said, I can't fucking do this. I can't. She said, I get too attached to people. So she walked away from it. But she was fucking brilliant. She used to go in this is funny, Wild. Ask Richard about this. Her professor, she had two different professors. They would call her and say, "Hey, Eileen, something happened. My car broke down, or my water pipes froze and I need to clean up my house, or whatever." And they'd say, "Can you do my class for me?" And she was in the class. That was her professor. And she'd be like, "Sure, okay." And she'd just take over the class because they knew that she knew more than that class that she was taking anyway. Yeah. So she would she did that all the time. They just call her at home on the phone. Back then it was rotary because I'm old.
Yeah.
Can you?
And thank you very much for
do my class for me today. I can't. Yeah.
You have given me my next karaoke song. It's "Come On, Eileen." Come on, Eileen. Yeah, you know what.
That was my mom's song, man.
Yeah.
She would just start dancing.
I'm
she would groove, man. Look, we would, when you're in high school and you go to those school dances. Everybody's been to school dances, right? So my mom used to chaperone them because she'd be like, they'd say, "Oh, we need a chaperone," and she'd go, "Do you mind?" And I don't care, Mom, whatever. So they did this they do those lockdowns when you're in high school, and they on a weekend that kids usually go out and get drunk, and you all go, and you pay $5 and you stay there all night and eat pizza and drink soda and dance and shit. So we went to one of those, and my mom offered to chaperone, and she had just broke her arm. We had been in a car accident 3 weeks before this, and her arm was in a cast and everything still. Man, she was out there dancing with all my friends. I was sitting at the table alone eating pizza. I am not fucking shitting you right now. All my friends were dancing around and going, "Go, Miss Madsen, go, Miss Madsen, go." And I'm going, "You know what? You fucking hanging out with me?" But I couldn't dance, so. Yeah, no, my
Hey, at
mom's
least your
great.
mom was cool.
Dude, my mom was the fucking shit. She was the shit. When I played basketball, I was started out, of course, junior varsity, right? The first year I was there, and then next year I went up to varsity, and the junior varsity coach quit, and they were like, they got all the parents of all the basketball players in and said, "Can anybody coach this team?" And they were all like, "I don't know nothing about basketball." So my mom goes, "Well, I'll do it." And they were like, "Do you know anything about basketball?" And she said, "No, but my kid's on the varsity team, so they can just fucking assistant coach, and I'll organize shit, and they can teach them how to fucking play." And they were like, "All right." So we would do varsity practice, and then when varsity practice was done, the junior varsity would come in, and I was already warmed up and ready to go, and my mom would come down off the bleachers, and she'd start coaching them, and I helped her, and it was a fucking blast. We did it for a few months. It was fun. It was fun.
Come
Oh
on.
man, we only went because we lived in the country and there was nothing to do. That's why everybody was like high and fucking drunk all the time when I was a teenager. There was just nothing to do out there, especially in the wintertime when there's like no harvest and no hay fields and no, gardening to do and no animals that you're worried about because they're already slaughtered and in the freezer. Everybody just gets drunk.
Yeah, can I thank you again, Gemby? You have just given me my next karaoke song. It's in the summertime. I know you said in the wintertime, but the next karaoke in the summertime where the weather is fine, you can be tried up. Sorry. Mungo Jerry.
I think I know which one you're talking about, even though you did that poorly. I think I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm only kidding. You guys, I always pick on Wild because he's a fucking nutball. First of all, and second of all, he always laughs with me because he knows I'm just fucking, smacking him on the back of the head and getting him shit. So the only reason I let you in here, I can't pick on anybody else. Ben's smarter than me. Bolt's got a better beard, and apparently, according to him, he's got a great looking dick. So I don't know about that. Catnip's like cute. Laura's brilliant, and Christian's fucking brilliant. So I got nothing, dude. So thank you for letting me pick on you.
Well, it's nice you've called me brilliant. You barely even know me.
Well, Maya said you're brilliant. That's all I need.
Love
I've known Maya
it.
for like
Yeah.
2 years.
Love it.
Maya. Maya
Love
and I
it.
we're pretty tight. So
Love is brilliant. Yeah. Love it. Big fan.
there you go. Another big fan, Laura. Look at you.
Yeah,
Just
I'm quite
popping it up,
good
baby.
on sort of a touch of philosophy and Bible and stuff like that. Never been a Christian, weirdly. Never been a Christian.
Really?
Yeah, never believed. I basically
Neither did I.
the way effectively I've always been an atheist. I've never been a believer. So what happened was here in the UK, we don't have a separation between church and state thing going on. But my parents were in the military. And with the military, you got people from all walks of life, including all different religions as well. Mainly Christianity, obviously. But, in my time, it was all Christians, really. Would have been. So what happens is, because we had centuries worth of Catholics versus Protestant killing each other over the throne and the souls of the people or something. Well, you can't have a very overtly Catholic or Anglican or whatever, type one. So they kind of do like a wishy-washy Jesus-y one.
Right.
And so, so what happened was I wasn't the most attentive child. So, I was always like thinking about 5 other things. And so the way life was for me would be you get up in the morning, you have some breakfast, you put your clothes on, you get your coat and bag, you walk to school, you play in the yard for a bit or talk to your friends or whatever, and then the bell goes and you go into assembly. And in assembly, you sit on the floor or sit on chairs or whatever, and the headmaster talks about the school day or stuff that might be going on, and
every morning.
Yeah, it would be like that every morning. and you'd
God,
sing a
that would be
prayer.
boring.
You'd sing a hymn and say a prayer, and then you'd go to class.
Oh God.
And that was every day. And I don't know whether it still is like that, but because it's been a long time since I was at school.
In the late 80s, when I was in high school, because I'm going to tell myself, in the late 80s, when I was in high school, I was at a Catholic high school.
Right.
And every morning we all got to homeroom, and every morning there was a fucking prayer. And I was like, oh, I'm not saying that shit. And so I would just stand up and stand there because everybody stood up, I don't know why. Praise be to Bob.
Yeah.
Praise Bob.
Well, it's ironic. I actually have a precept argument which is based upon Bob. But anyway, so what happened was the whole religion thing wasn't really a thing. It was just one of the list of stuff that you did between the getting up in the morning and going and doing the learning thing.
Right.
It was no more significant than eating my breakfast. Well, it was less significant, obviously, because I was eating food. Anyway, so what happened was one day I was quietly whispering to my friend who was sat next to me, and the teacher came over and tapped me on the shoulder, and she said, "This is important. You need to pay attention." And so their pastor was talking about a Jesus-y thing. So I went, right, what's the source material? The Bible. Right, I'll read the Bible then. I was 8. And, obviously I've read it more since then, but my first instincts were, okay, talking animals. Well, that's cartoons. That's in the not real category. Walking on water. Well, I like splashing in puddles. Never saw anyone walk on water. Again, that was in the not real category. If I was sick, my mum would take me up to the medical center, take my temperature, whatever, take these pills, you'll get better. Sure enough, take the pills, you get better. There was none of this healing people by touching them. So that was in the not real category.
Right.
And so the Bible went on the fiction shelf in my mind. And so I've never believed it, I've read it at least 4 times, probably 5.
Oh God, I never have. Nope. ADD and don't care. Nope. They give us like those little New Testaments, when you get to be like 12 or something. They're trying to pollute your mind more. Here, carry this around with you. And so they gave that to us, and I like looked at it, and I was like, well, the pages feel kind of cool, because they're that thin paper, and it kind of, feels kind of old. So that's cool. Opened it up. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. That was it for me. I just never was interested in it at all. I never found it interesting. I never found it compelling. And the things that stuck in my head were things that I'd go, what the fuck did you just say? God wants us to what? We got to kiss the feet of that statue? It's a fucking nasty statue. It's been sitting there for how long in the church? Since last Christmas when everybody fucking kissed it. And you want me to kiss the feet of Jesus? Like, suck my ass. Oh my God. I just thought it was crazy. And so I would just sit there in absolute boredom luckily my mom was only a Sunday Catholic. So I didn't have to, the rest of the time it was we lived in a science household.
I lived with my grandma.
We said grace at dinner, and that was the only thing religious that really happened in our house. My mom was very science-based, so she loved to talk about science, so we rarely discussed religion.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was likewise. Neither of my parents were particularly religious. My mum's more of a spiritual person, but not really religious as such.
Right. I know lots of people like that.
Yeah,
we have people in the community. We got 1 or 2 of them in the chat like that too.
You see, one of the things that's different between Britain and America is that, again, thanks to centuries of people fighting over Catholics versus Protestant and killing each other and stuff, it still goes on, and still a problem in Northern Ireland, a bit in Scotland here and there. But generally, the people got so sick of that kind of stuff that it's almost like a mantra, an unsaid mantra in the UK. If you're a believer, fine. If you're not a believer, fine. As long as you're not in someone's face about it, nobody cares.
Right.
You know, it's a personal thing. And you know, so to the point that when we have an election, they talk about the policies, and they don't need to pander to the Christian, you know, right, you know, evangelical right or anything. There's no such thing in the UK.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think I only, out of like 600 MPs, I think I know about 5 of them which religion they are.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
I will say, though, as far as people reading the Bible, I know more atheists that have read the Bible front to back more than once than I do Christians. And I used to hang out with a lot of Christians because I grew up in a community full of fucking cishet white rednecks out in the fucking boonies. That's all they had. You know, go plow the field, plant the shit, go to church. Like, that's all they did. So, yeah. And if you asked any of them if they read the Bible front to back, they go, "Well, I mean, I'm in Genesis, you know, or something." Like they didn't read shit.
I was telling Wildheart yesterday about someone around on the internet, on YouTube, and he's a nice guy. Don't get me wrong, he's a nice guy. His username was Christian Anarchist. I think it's RC Apologist now, but I might be wrong. But he's a Calvinist. And I liken Calvinism to aristocratic Christianity. That, you know, basically everyone's going to hell except for the elect. Nobody knows what the elect are. Of course, they think they are the elect. But, you know.
You should have a conversation with my brother. You'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
He's not he's not a Christian. He's a theist.
Gotcha. Anyway, so he said he was in. He was saying that he was a Bible inerrantist. There are no errors in the Bible, and it's like, well, wait a second, because I look at the resurrection account of Jesus, you know, and it's like, but there are 4 versions. All of them tell different stories. Some of them wildly so.
Yeah.
For example, how many angels were in the tomb? Or sorry, was the tombstone open or closed? When they get there, and then, like, most of them, it's like it's open when they get there, and then you got Matthew, which is what I liken to the Michael Bay version, where you know, and of course in a Michael Bay movie, if a car explodes, it's not enough that it explodes; it needs to do 4 somersaults in the act of exploding. And so, well, with the Matthew one, there's a giant earthquake, and an angel swoops out of the sky and moves the tombstone out of the way and sits on it, which is massively different to, oh look, the tombstone's been moved out of the way.
Yeah. Right.
And you know, one of the excuses I hear from Christians on why they're different is, oh well, it's different people. You know, if you have a eyewitness account, we'll see different thing, and you know, and it's like, yeah, you know, and I can understand that's a reasonable argument until you get to Matthew, because if there's a car crash and you see people get out and run away, okay, what was the driver like? Was he tall, fat, slim, you know, etc., etc.? And you know, the other ones are like, you know, bouncing around, whether he's tall or short or average or whatever. And Matthew goes, it was Big Bird from Sesame Street. Quite a difference than, you know, it was a guy.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, so what happened was, I'm going over these things, and he's like saying that's not a contradiction. I said, look, how many angels are in the tomb? Is it 1 or 2? Because in one it says there's 1 man standing, another one says it's 2 men sitting. And as you know, and it's like, well, these can't both be true at the same time. They can't both be accurate at the same time. You know, and I had to walk him through basic mathematics. It's like, okay, look, if I've got 2 apples and I've got 1 apple, these are different values of apples, aren't they? And it's like, yes. So, okay, well, let's go 1 angel, 2 angel. 1 angel is different than 2 angels, isn't it? Yes.
Well, yeah.
You know, and so it's like, well, so they contradict each other then? No.
Well, you know, I will say that we don't usually talk about religion because none of us really care about it here. So just so you know, we don't have much to say about it.
Sure. Fair,
but I will say that
I'm trying to get
the reason
I think
the reason I think you would enjoy talking to my brother is because he's actually translating the Bible back with the Greek lexicon and Hebrew, and then writing it down in English again, and it reads nothing alike. Not even fucking close. It means something totally different.
You know,
And
you
it's
know what?
fucking
You know
mind
this-
blowing when you take out all the bullshit and you just take all the begats. Here's a good for instance. All the begats. He looked up all the different names. They basically all translate back to son or daughter.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just
Yes.
saying that a son and a daughter were, a son was born that's gonna help create a family and like support it. And there's a daughter that's born that's going to bear children and become part of a family. And that's all it says through that. All those begots, it all says the same thing over and over again.
The thing you
So
were
it's-
saying
it's
about
really interesting.
translating,
So-
it makes me chuckle because have you ever heard of something called bad translation karaoke?
No, I'm
Okay,
afraid.
bad translation
no.
karaoke.
I know what you're talking about. Hold on, it just hit me.
Yeah.
Where they do it like with the wrong words the way it actually sounds, but not with the right. Yeah.
No,
I got
what you do is you basically take, the lyrics of a song, and then you translate them into Chinese, and then you translate them into Burmese or something, and then you translate them back into English
Oh.
and see what happened. It's almost like music lyrics telephone.
Oh, okay.
By
But
translating
with different
them
languages. Yeah.
through a couple of languages, let's see what it sounds like now, and it can be quite funny.
Yeah.
Ken, just like,
bet.
speaking of your brother, your brother is live at the moment. I'm going to try
Is
and
he?
get to a street. Yeah.
I wish he quit streaming on my days because I can never get to fucking see him. It's the only time he streams. He's like, oh,
Well-
you know what? My little brother's streaming right now. Let me go ahead and stream. No, I'm just kidding.
I am going to try and get into his stream, but I appreciate you muchly, B, for letting me in.
All right, buddy. You take care,
right.
man.
Cheers.
Take care.
That's what.
Better Wilder.
I just want to finish up my little story, and it's not so much about what the Bible says and stuff like that. That's if you
Okay.
know. So what happened was you'd like, and I kind of like, these are different values, aren't they? Yes. Okay, so they contradict each other then? No. And it's like, and I ended up asking the question. I said, have you actually read all the Bible? And he said, no.
Yeah.
And
Most
I
of them
said,
haven't.
wait a second. How can you be taking a certainty position on Bible inerrancy if you haven't read it to see whether it's inerrant or not? That's intellectually dishonest to me.
Well,
and I
it
read him on
is.
that for over a year. Because
Oh,
every
yeah.
time I saw him, I'd ask him, have you read all your Bible yet? Which was a bit naughty of me, really. He did. It
Yeah,
did
but you know,
annoy him.
That
But-
would be like me taking an astrophysics book and reading the introduction and then saying, "Yeah, I know all about astrophysics." No, I fucking don't.
Well, effectively, all it is.
I think a lot of people do that. They jump into I'm going to have this big discussion on this because this is what I believe, but they're not really educated on it. Like I have opinions, but I tell people this is my opinion and what I've experienced in my life. I don't know if that's true or not, but
he
in my
basically
opinion, this
watched
is how it
YouTube
appears.
videos. That's
Huh?
what it was. He'd watch YouTube videos from his
Oh my
favorite
God.
apologists, and so therefore, and it's like, look, you can't. This is intellectually dishonest. Okay,
Yeah.
you read it, and then you make a decision. And I don't, and it's not like I want him to become an atheist or anything. I just wanted to be honest about it, really. And so
Yeah.
the idea is that, he reads the Bible, and if he gets to the end of it, he says, okay, I still believe it's inerrant. Okay, we can have a discussion about that. If he says, okay, well, I've read it, I can't really go with the inerrantist stuff. However, I still believe in Jesus dying for sins and rising again, etc., etc. Again, fine, and we can have an interesting discussion about that as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't
But it just annoyed
Um,
me, someone taking a certainty position on something when they hadn't checked it to see whether it was certain.
well, that's half the fucking community on YouTube, isn't it? Any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, half the people on not community people on YouTube. Yes, thank you, Commander. Young women of childbearing age. That's what I was trying to remember. Thank you very much.
Ah,
That is the line. Yes. I don't remember what is the thing with the boys. It's like sons. Oh shit! I can't remember. Commander, I've jumped from Jew to Christian back to Jew. Commander's been around the block. That's the bottom line. So, Catnip. JR asked a little while ago where Catnip Jr. is. Where's Catnip Jr.?
She's actually sleeping. We're
Is
like
she?
we're like this close to getting her back on a regular, normal fucking people schedule.
Oh, good. Good.
Assuming
good.
she sleeps through the night tonight, we should be on course to be back on a regular schedule. Now I just have to get me back on a regular schedule because I can't survive. I can't survive being up until 4, 5, 6 a.m. every day and then get up and try to. Why was I doing it to begin with? Or?
No. I'm like, why can't you? Why is that so bad? Come on now.
Because
you
I
just
can't
like
sleep
sleeping
during
an
the
hour or
day.
2 hours at a time like a baby. Why is that not okay with you?
No, because the toddler doesn't sleep that way anymore.
Right.
And I'm the only one home with her during the day.
Hey, Junie. Are you there? Junie.
Yes.
Come in, Junie. Oh,
Hi.
okay. Hi. I love the name. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Junie the no just Junie.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what drives me crazy about my name? The only thing is everybody says not just be. And I'm like, no. It's no, just be.
Yeah, I
Not just
decided
me.
to steal something out of your page.
Oh no, I love it. I think it's great. I just have this name up from talking last night with Monday night with God, what day of the week is it? It's Wednesday. With Ben and the other folks we were talking to. So we were talking about a project, and I just forgot to change it.
Did you ever went live on Monday?
No, not this Monday. No, I did not. By the time we got done talking and it was so late, I was like, oh, screw it. Because it was already an hour and 45 minutes past the time I usually start, almost 2 hours past the time I usually start streaming. So I just didn't even see any sense in starting a stream for like 30 minutes or something. So
I don't.
Christian, I'm living for this. I'm living for this adventure.
I was sitting there. I had sent a cat a character that I had thought of it initially just being like a level 6 bard who's just really full of themselves and just incredibly arrogant to every degree possible. But then I decided the rogue archetype with like the being a sort of from a criminal background, but also being like super arrogant, but also being really squishy and not being able to take any hits.
I live for this because we've already got a super headstrong bard.
There we go.
Yeah,
are they called Liam
Fucking
Gallagher?
Cassian the asshole bard lives up to his fucking name.
Then we have Dave the Barbarian, who is now away from the panel, and we'll be back.
Let me smash.
Smeesh.
Let me
I want to smeesh.
What are you playing? What's your character?
I have a half elf ranger.
Ooh.
Yeah, half elf ranger.
Talking about D&D.
Yes.
And we just created it when we started this game, and we've only played twice. So, like, I haven't done any, like, I'm just trying to remember how to play the game and trying to do it on, in the online form versus in person with dice. It's a whole new thing to me.
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah,
I've been a forever DM, so it's nice to get a party that I can be a player in. I've been DMing now for 6.5 years. So
You've been DMing longer than I have.
Well, just so you know, the point of the game that we're playing, the adventure, whatever dungeon we're playing right now, is to teach a bunch of us that haven't played in years or have never played how to play.
Oh, that's really cool.
And that's why I'm using big fuck you numbers, because it's much more fun to learn how to play with big fuck you numbers than it is to learn to play with little numbers.
Also,
So Ben-
Christian.
Oh, go ahead.
Christian, Catnip's a fairly new DM, so don't be an asshole to her.
I didn't plan on it, but I appreciate the warning.
Okay,
This
because I know
one
Jonathan
Christian
can
has
handle
never
like
done.
trolley. Well, just Jonathan can handle like a lot of like rules lawyering and like
This
those kinds of debates. Don't be. Yeah, new DMs. It's hard to have.
This character is not an insufferable wizard. This character is a very happy bard. So I'm going to be invested in being a good character this time because I had a really bad time being the arrogant wizard. So
yeah, we all hated you for that.
It's yeah.
We hated you a little bit.
So that's why. Go ahead, Laura.
I haven't played D&D for a very, very long time. I think it's 29 years. I'm
about there. Actually, no, it's been 35 years before starting this.
Well, I was a DM once, and I was really mean because what I did was the party found a weapon. It was a sword. But the problem is that as soon as you pulled the sword out of the scabbard, your friends wanted it, So it was like really powerful, but you could only use it if you were on your own.
Oh, God. Oh, man. What the fuck?
I know. It was really mean of me.
That's a good weapon.
It is
That's
pretty. That's
curse.
pretty funny because then everybody wants it, but you can't use it right now.
Yeah.
Or ever, unless you're going to do your own dungeon with a DM. Which good luck with that. You'll be dead in 5 seconds.
It only works if your party is separated.
Touche.
Yeah, split the party.
Well, yeah. Idea. So now that everybody knows.
You see, the problem is that
teaching dungeon. If anybody wants to join, you can.
Yeah, the problem is you've got to, you can't tell everybody. You can't tell everybody exactly what it does because they've got to figure out what it does. It just does something.
Bastard.
Do you see what I mean?
Teasing
oh yeah, that's
best. No, I do see what you mean.
Yeah.
Ben, did you eat all your cookies that you baked yesterday and or the day before?
No, I still have plenty of cookies left.
Whatever day it was.
You know what? I'm gonna kick you, dude. I am like getting hungry right now. That shit looks.
But
good.
also, I have Chinese pulled noodle soup. So it's basically the soup from Kung Fu Panda.
Dr. Ben's always eating good food during streams.
I'm always eating great food.
Oh yeah, Ben knows how.
I also have these dumplings.
Ben, what kind of cookies did you make?
Chocolate chip cookies.
Okay.
These superior cookies.
Hi Sam, hi Titan. How is everybody? Yeah, I told the other day, Ben, it's getting worse. I know what you're saying now. The wanting meat and potato thing is getting worse.
Yes.
So I said to Heather that
crave.
So she made all those pumpkin pies for Thanksgiving, right? And actually, let me not call it Thanksgiving. Let's call it Harvest or something. Anything. Family time.
I'm still
family
listening.
time on the third Thursday of November. Anyways, so she made all these pies, and I gave one to my brother, and he was like, well, you didn't have to give me this. I said, dude, she still has a whole one at her house and another quarter. Like, I don't need this fucking pie. Please take this fucking pie. I said, right now, I just want to sit down with pie and just put it on my lap and have a spoon and then just have a steak in my other hand. That's what the fuck I want. I want to just like pie on my lap and a steak in my hand. I don't even give a shit. I don't need a fork. I just want to just tear it off and eat it right now.
Dad.
It's bad. What, honey?
If Mom still has a pie, I want it. Mail me a pie.
I can't mail you a pie. It'll never survive. Have you seen how they throw those packages? You'll have like a pumpkin casserole.
But I need
on
it.
Plastic.
But I need it.
Ollie, Ben can't do the devil's lettuce until Ben is out of the military.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like another 7-something, I don't know, 8 years. Mm-hmm. So, but I did promise that the day that he gets out of that and is out on his own, I'm gonna get him.
Oh God, yeah, we're gonna party that day. Ben, we were gonna get you
I can go now.
Wait, that's one thing I'm learning. Yeah.
What, Judy?
That part of so Dr. Ben's part of the military.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I'm on a scholarship. Yeah.
Huh.
So they're paying for how much of your medical school?
Like over $400,000.
And how much are you left with in debt?
Probably like 50,000 something.
Dude, that's great. Heather just got her student loan down to 70.
Mm-hmm.
She graduated in
400,000.
She got her certification in 03. She's been practicing for 18 years.
My school's very expensive.
I'm down to 70,000. I'm like, fuck, babe. Damn.
My tuition by itself is 73,000 a year. That's not including fees or living expenses.
Crikey.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fame. I'm gonna live forever.
I mean, I think of the people who spend that kind of money
that's
but
hard.
don't do anything with it.
Mhm.
Or
Right.
I'm working on living forever. In 3 months, I'll be 3 years old. Laura, at least.
There's my buddy.
I changed my name.
Happy almost 3rd birthday, Laura.
Thank you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I haven't done
You
it
know,
yet because it's so
it's
expensive, but
amusing.
I'm doing
It's
it in January.
It's amusing you mentioned D&D because my name comes from a D&D thing.
Oh, really?
Do you know what have you ever heard of the Dragonlance Chronicles?
I have heard of them, never.
They're
done
really
anything with
good. Dragons of Autumn Twilight, Dragons of Winter Night, Dragons of Spring Dawning. They're a great set of books. So in those, one of the so what happened was in 2018. Sorry, a bit more than that. I used to go to these private gatherings. I spent 19 years since 1999 to 2018 going to these private gatherings because we had something in the UK called Section 28 of the Local Community Act, I think it was called, and it basically made it a the councils, and they ran the education authority for the area. They weren't allowed to promote homosexuality, and so that came in 1988, which was like, you know, the year that I went. I would have learned sex ed.
Okay.
And so they couldn't read those sorts of things. Oh, we go.
Yeah.
So, so as a result, I didn't even know what trans was until I was 25. And
wow.
And that's when I got the internet at home.
When did I know?
You know.
Oh, I was 20. No, I was. I think I was 21, 22 before. I actually ended up. I had a friend who she was bi, and we screwed around on the side for years. Like every time I wasn't dating someone, I was screwing her. That's just kind of how it was. But anyways, she said, let's go out to a bar. And I was like, all right. And so she took me to this, we were in Orlando, Florida, and she took me to this drag bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I met a whole bunch of people, and my eyes were like, oh my God, I am totally trans and I don't want to tell anybody. Because there was not only drag queens there, but there was some trans people and, you know, gay men and lesbians and all these different people in this bar, because it was like one of the safe places in town to be. And it really, I found out, I went to that place 2 times and I learned so much about myself in those 2 times of being there for a few hours.
Yeah. Well, all my impact was on the internet in dial-up days. So it was all text chat.
Yeah, I remember that.
Live text chat. Great time.
That was the shit back then, Laura.
Yeah.
We were all like, what? You can talk to somebody across the United States or across the world, and you can talk to them. We just thought it was the best thing. Do you remember when they started the video chat and everybody was really excited? And then they were like, we can't do this because people are like exposing themselves and shit. There's all kinds of crazy shit going on.
Yeah, well, that wasn't really a problem because I had this small group of friends anyway. So we used different ways. But anyway, used to go to these private gatherings, but then I had a disagreement with some people. It's like, I'm not going back to those anymore. And I needed a new outlet, and going out into the real world was going to be the outlet. So on the internet, I was a kid of the 80s. So my main toys were Transformers and Lego. And so, well, my former guy name, that is a very common name. And so on different chat rooms, I used to use a Transformer name. I used to use Starscream and then later Cliffjumper24, which is what my YouTube channel is.
Okay.
And so, so I was gonna go into this transgender cross-dressing chat room, and I was shaking like a leaf. Literally, my hands were shaking because I was nervous about it. You know, because I just had these ridiculous stereotypes of, like, you know, ugly women with beards and bad breath and hairy legs with fishnet stockings or something. I mean, just ludicrous kind of Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of.
Well, it really has changed a lot since then, right?
Yeah.
What year were you born, Laura? If you don't mind me asking.
74.
74. Okay, so I'm 3 years older than you. Yes, I know exactly what you're saying. Yes. It was a whole different, like, it's so, well, first of all, they didn't have any tools and they didn't know, and there was trans people that just didn't know other trans people. And they didn't even know what to do with themselves. You know, we're so much more informed now, and we have the internet to communicate. We have the internet we can Google shit and learn so much off the internet. Like, and please, guys, don't believe everything you read, but reputable sites. But you can learn a lot of shit off the internet, you know, and so it's a whole different ball of wax, and there's more support, and there's more people talking about it. And I think it's just gonna, you know, it's just changed a lot.
There was a key moment for me, and unfortunately it was a bad one, I suppose. When I was 15, I borrowed some of my mum's skirts, and it got noticed, and there was a family conference, and my mum was like, "Why'd you do it?" And I said, "I don't know." And she's like, "You must know." And I said nothing. And she just blurted out, "So, what do you want to be, a girl or something?" And I paused and I said, "No." But in my head, I was thinking, yes, I think. But I didn't understand it for myself. So there's no way I could explain it to her.
Right.
You
well,
know?
Of course
and
not.
It's not
How
like
old
I
were
go
you?
to. I was 15 at the time. So it's not like I could go to the library and say, "Hi, have you got any books about boys who want to be girls?"
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you know, that just wasn't a thing.
Exactly.
Whereas today, you can just go on and, like, you know, there it is in answers. I mean, you just Google it, kind of stuff. And so I just didn't know.
Right.
And for me, it was an uncomfortable part of me. I wanted to sweep under the rug, but no matter how much I tried, I could still feel the lumps under the rug. You know, it was like an instinct. It just wouldn't go away. And so when it came down to it, you know, when I was, you know, like I say, got on the internet, and then I had a disagreement, and so I was looking for a new outlet, and going out into the real world was going to be the outlet.
Right.
And so my username for, you know, like I say, for years and years, for 18 years, was RC. ARCEE, and that was the only girl transformer, and it was the only thing that popped into my head. You know, because I'm going into this chat room, I got to put a name in there. What name do I put in?
Yeah, I don't know what to call myself, right?
You know, I didn't have a girl identity. I was a guy that liked wearing dresses. That made me feel comfortable. That was how it felt for me. And so, you know, so the only thing I could think of was the only girl transformer, RC. Well, the problem is, when it came to going out in the real world, that was going to be a problem. So I was sat on my balcony in the hot summer of 2018. You know, we had wildfires going on, nothing like you get in America, but, you know, the moorlands were on fire. There were helicopters putting it out, a rarity in the UK.
Yeah.
And so I'm sat on the balcony with a hot sandwich and a glass of wine or something, and I'm reading the book unplugged from the internet for a few hours. And, you know, so, and it's like, I can't use the name RC. That's a weird name. You know, someone asks you a question, "Oh, that's an interesting name. Where's that come from?" And next thing you know, I'm going to talk about, you know, 30-foot transforming robots.
Right.
You know, which isn't, you know, I just needed something to throw away.
Yeah.
And so I was reading these Dragonlance Chronicles, and one of the hero characters, half elf called Tennis, his wife is an elf maiden called Lorana.
Oh, okay.
Laura with NA on the end. And I thought, that's a really nice name. I've always liked that name. Every time I read the book, it's like, if I was going to be a girl, I'd go with that name. Right. But then I thought to myself, but Laurana, as cool as it is, it's a little bit weird. And it's like, oh, where's that come from? And next again, having to talk about orcs and goblins and dwarves and elves and knights and stuff. And it just that again, you know. So I just shortened it to Laura.
Nice.
You know, so it's a long story to get a simple reading.
Well, I can tell you how my name, my dead name, I had a shortened version of it. Okay. And it also started with BE. And so I used to, when I was dating this one chick, we lived in this area. It was kind of like around the edge of a really fucking rough area. Like if you went over the wall, you might get shot. Like it was like that. And there was a lot of kids there that just, you know, there's a few like 25-year-old, 18-year-old, 21-year-old kids that just were lost. They were fucking lost. And I ended up meeting them through other people and, you know, like bumped into them somewhere and said hi. And they were like, hey, what's up? You know, and we just started bullshitting and became friends kind of thing. And so I always opened my townhouse to them. Like they were always welcome there. You know, it was a safe place. And if they want to get drunk or they want to get high or they just wanted to, I had one kid used to he'd come over and cry to me because he, you know, like he cut his hand open and his mom was so fucking drunk and smashed ass drunk. She couldn't wake her up. And so he came to my place, goes, I don't know where to go. And he's got like this bloody rag on his hand, you know? So I said, well, I can only do so much, you know? But I made some homemade butterfly bandages and I bandaged like the shit out of it together, covered it up with some fucking gauze and put some antibiotic ointment and just put tape on it. And I said, just don't move your hand. Just leave it like this. And when your mom wakes up, have her take her to the emergency room. So they started calling me Aunt B is how it ended up. And then it became Dr. B. And because I used to patch them up all the time, they were always getting hurt. I mean, they were like, you know, kids. They were still running around and doing shit. One kid was a 17-year-old kid and he was the worst. He was always getting hurt. So they started calling me like Dr. B. And I'm like, no, dude, you can't do. No, I'm not. I'm just doing what my mom did with us, you know, because I learned from her. We always got hurt when we were kids. So we lived on a farm. There was always somebody getting hurt. But so the B thing kind of stuck with that for a while. And then I started dating this one lady and she called me B. And so then it was still there, you know, and then I came on YouTube. And I didn't know what to do with my name. And so I picked BN Mindful. Right. And I really wanted to do like deep streams about like mental health and all this stuff. And it just, people don't want to talk about that shit. I figured it out. After you get the handful out of the community, nobody else wants to talk about it on a live stream. So, so I kind of gave up on that. And then people kept, you know, saying people would ask me like, what's B stand for? And I'd be like, it's just B. Like, BE, that's it. That's my name. Is it short for something? No.
To be or not to be?
Right, which is also a joke that Ox puts in my chat every time my name comes up, I think. I love Ox. So, so the Be No Just Be is how I got my YouTube channel name. And then when I decided to transition 2.5 months ago, I said, you know what? I really want to keep my initials. I like my initials. I like the B part of it. So I went looking for a name that started with BE. And this is just the first one that appealed to me and didn't sound like a pedo, or it didn't sound like some fucking dumb redneck dude. It didn't sound like white male privilege. Yeah. What, Judy?
I'm like, what? Did it sound like a pedo?
Some of those BE names are just weird, man. They're just weird. I'm telling you, sweetheart. So anyways, I don't know. I was just making up stuff. But yeah, so I went through all these different names and I looked and I looked in uncommon names and I looked in like mythological stuff and I just couldn't find anything. And then I finally found this one and I decided to pick it. And then 2 weeks afterwards, we were talking about the meanings of names and I was like, I don't even know what it means. So it means an ever-flowing and ever-changing body of water.
Right.
Nice.
And that is me, because I've like been a gypsy almost all my life. I've lived in like 9 different states. 3 of them I've lived in more than once. Like I've just been everywhere, and
A traveling gypsy.
and I've been ever changing. You know. So I said, that's it. I'm keeping it.
You know,
Ben's got a cool story about his name, actually.
Oh yeah, I turned off my camera, my mic, because I didn't want y'all to hear me slurping on my noodle soup. But
Yeah, fuck off, bro. Anyways, go ahead.
Which is the proper way to eat them.
Peepus.
It's the Peepus.
Is it septic or non-septic Peepus?
it's non-septic Peepus today.
That's good. You should definitely drink that then. Don't anybody drink septic or consume. Let me use the word consume because that makes it sound better. Don't anybody ever consume septic Peepus.
what is that?
It's just I said Pepsi in a weird way, and it was funny.
Yeah,
Really?
what's the septic one though?
It was just a joke from a stream when the first time we brought in the word Peepus, and then someone said septic Peepus, and it just kind of stuck. So
Okay.
there's no real context to it. It's just random.
My favorite drink along that lines is Pepsi Max with ice and a slice of lime.
Ooh, Peepus Max.
Peepus Max.
That's like
Drive
the
by
heavy-duty
pussy.
Peepus.
I think the worst thing I've ever
Dude, that
And
just
I
made
did-
me think of something fucking horrible. I'm sorry, Laura. Go ahead.
yeah the worst cola type thing I've ever come across. Did you ever have Coke Black?
No. Oh, I
No.
might have.
Is it black currant?
It didn't last very long. It was kind of like Coke's attempt at going for Red Bull. It's like high
Oh.
caffeine.
Oh.
Oh.
So the best way I can describe it is, you know, the coffee percolator you get in the coffee maker machine thing, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, imagine you've used it, you chuck it in the bin, and after about a week, you fish it out and you sprinkle it into a glass, and then you pour Coke in it. That's generally the rough idea what it tastes like.
That sounds good. Oh my god. Theo, I don't know what you mean by that. If somebody would like to explain, B is the infinity sign which fell on the left side. Are you saying it got flattened out? Okay, fair enough. Actually, B is actually on the periodic table for beryllium, which is a rare mineral. So you're welcome. Because I am hard-headed and I am rare. So guys, right now, let me tell you guys what's going on right now. So my girl is home talking to her kids about me right now. So I keep checking my phone. That's why I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be great or all hell's going to break loose. About her and I being together. She has a 13 and 16-year-old kid.
Right.
Oh.
Two of them.
They haven't had
right?
that conversation yet then.
No. And her kid, I went over Sunday, you know, Bolt. I'm always, you know where I am on Sunday.
Yeah, you're always over there.
Fuck yeah, I am. Who wouldn't be?
And the kids love you, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, I know, right? So we were hoping, like, she said, I'll talk to him after Thanksgiving. And then she didn't tell me why. I didn't ask or anything. I was just like, okay, you know, whenever you're comfortable, like, I'll wait. I don't care if you want to wait a year. I just would hate to. I said, the only problem I have is that I feel like I'm being deceptive to people.
Right.
And so that's not okay with me. And I said, but besides that, I can swallow that for a while. But then, you know, eventually that needs to be talked about. And she was like, okay, fine. And I said, but, you know, your kids, your life, you're the one that has to deal with any repercussions. So you do it when you want. So then she had everybody over for Thanksgiving from the office to have an excuse to have me over for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
And so she invited the office manager and her husband. They brought their dog, and some of the kids' friends came over, kind of family-ish friends, people, and hung out. We had a really good time and shit. So I think she was trying to let them get to know me a little better. So when she said, hey, blah, blah, blah. I mean, her daughter already loves me, honestly. We already know each other. She came in and volunteered at work and worked with me and all that.
Nice.
But, you know, it's one thing to say, oh, yeah, I love B. And it's another thing to say, oh, by the way, I'm glad you do because I'm dating me, you know? Like,
yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah.
I'm glad that
I mean, but they know all about me. I mean, they know that. Well, here's the good news. They know that I'm trans. And when I came out at work, she went home and told them, and they were like, "Oh my God, that's awesome. B is like that must take so much to do that. That's incredible." Like, so I felt like, whew, that's good, you know, back before she even knew. I was like, that's good that, you know, they like me, that they already look up to me a little bit. Like, that's awesome. That's going to help it in the long run if this ever happens. So,
yeah, to publicly come out like that, especially in real life, is the hardest. I recently had to do that in my office as well.
You know, the funny thing though, Junie, here's the thing about, like, for me, it felt so freeing. I wasn't scared at all. I just walked up to everybody and I said, "Hey, by the way, I got a doctor's appointment with Dr. Warenko today, like you guys know, because I was like at work and I just stuck myself at the end of the day on her schedule." And I said, "So I'm going to start testosterone. I'm going to transition." Okay. And everybody was like, okay. And they didn't say much, but they were so fast, all of them. And Heather was like my biggest advocate to like say he all the time. And she started walking around the office calling me Mr. B. So that really helped with, like, she was reminding everybody several times a day. You know, that's that. So she's always seen me like
with
that.
The social transition.
Yeah, but I'm saying she's always seen me like that. So for because I was replying really to what Junie said, for her it's not coming out because she sees me as a man. So she's not gay.
No. Sorry, I think you're missing.
No, Laura. I wasn't talking. I was talking about what Junie said. I wasn't talking about what you said. I was talking about what Junie said earlier. I just got on a rant.
Yeah. No, I was saying that it's helping you with your transition.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah. She's so affirming constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly. My boyfriend, my guy, my man, my, you know, like she affirms. It blows my mind. I told her, I said, you know, you're a rare gem. You are like a rare gem that's sitting in the middle of like the Smithsonian and people have to walk around a rope. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Because that just doesn't happen to trans people. We don't find people like you."
Yeah.
That you are a rarity. And so I asked her if she would ever come on the project that Ben and I were just discussing with somebody on Monday night, if she would ever come on and talk with me. And she said, "Absolutely. I will support you 100%. She's like, "I feel awkward on video, but I'll do it." And I'm like, "Okay, cool."
That's lovely.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm. That's why I need to make my new Teespring line of the Lucky Bastard or the Fortunate One. I'm not sure which one I want to call it yet, but it's going to be basically like I have someone that is way out of my league, and I'm a lucky motherfucker, and I know it. That's what it's going to be based on, because that's me. Anyways, okay, I'm done with that.
So something small that like I noticed about my transition, like I was looking back at some pictures, and my face shape has changed.
Oh, I know it has.
Like looking back at my pictures from a year ago, like my jaw's definitely gotten more masculine in there.
Yeah, it really has. I noticed that on that last video you did. From your first T to now. I change video, you looked like your face, you could just see it kind of bulking up with every clip.
I'm going to send you a picture from a year ago from this month.
Oh, cool.
And the difference is, like, it didn't seem like much at the time, but it is an astounding difference in my face shape.
Oh, okay. First of all, I have to say, you guys are too nice. You're going to make me all mushy and make me all humbled and shit. And, you know, I'm trying to be cocky tonight. So if you could not do that. I love you too, Sarah. I love you too, Christian. You guys are great. And, you know, I fucking adore every single person in that chat right now. Unless there's some asshole in there I didn't see. But I think I love all you guys. So thank you.
I'd consider myself an asshole.
Yeah, me too. I consider myself one.
There you go. A wretch like me. Fucking ox. Basically, man, I feel like she's like, "I respect you so much," and I'm like, "Me? What the? I'm an office assistant. I'm 50 years old. And I just started a new fucking line of a career. Like, what are you talking about right now? What the fuck do you see in me?" Oh man.
Well, she sees my handsome dad. That's who she sees.
I know. I told you what I did, right? And I told her I did it. Did I tell you what I did, Catnip? I called her optometrist and said, never change her prescription. Wherever it is right now, it's perfect. I told her that joke and she fucking died. And then I told the joke to Dr. Marenko and she fucking died. Like, we're sitting in an outside cafe eating breakfast, right? In the plaza in the middle of Santa Fe where it's like beautiful and it's like the perfect fucking day out. And I said that shit and she laughed so hard. I swear to God, people over on the grass on the plaza were like, the hell was that?
Mom has such a pretty laugh, and also she laughs at fucking everything.
Isn't she giggly? Yeah. Shit. It's honestly, I know I'm not bragging. It's because of me. She literally says I'm goobery every time I'm around you. Like she'll get really fucking silly, and she'll just laugh at everything. I live for it. And then when I see her like standing over in the hallway and talking to people, she's like smiling in her happy self. And then she'll walk over by me, and then she gets it's cute. It really is. Yeah. Who? My daughter? What daughter? No, I'm talking about my girlfriend, dude. What the fuck?
Catnip is
whose daughter?
His daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, Catnip.
Catnip is his daughter.
Totally. Sorry, I'm high. That's it.
Not really.
I fucked up.
No, but he's not actually my dad.
This is
I adopted her as my child because I fucking love her and she's a good egg and she needs a little love and support right now. So
look, Dad, I changed my name to match. Are you proud of me, Dad?
You did what?
I changed my name to match.
Cat. Everybody do that. I want everybody to thank you.
Yeah,
Chris already did it.
I already did.
Just Chris. You guys are fucking awesome. Hold on. Now I gotta change my name. You know I have to do it.
I was waiting for you to notice, but then you just didn't ever notice. So let me help.
Actually, I thought Beck was the one who changed it. And was like slowly changing it for everybody.
No.
There you go. That's better.
My name's all in caps because now I'm Laura and I'm making a big bold statement about it.
When you came on, I thought, damn, Laura, you don't have to yell at me.
I think a picture tells 1,000 words. So if you're okay, I'll screen share what I look like. So that was me on my naming day, which was
you're so beautiful.
Yeah, which was 2019.
My bifocals suck. I have to do this. Oh, there you are. See shit.
I love that dress. Oh, wow.
And that was me about a year ago now. When was it?
Oh, you're beautiful.
Last September.
I love you so much. You're so beautiful. And you're so nice.
Now,
this is great.
I've dropped the wig now. So this is what I look like now. Oh,
You're
this
still
was
gorgeous.
Just before HRT, actually, I think. And that's me not wearing makeup. So
I don't think you need makeup. I think makeup's overrated.
Yeah, the only makeup I'm wearing there is lipstick.
Where did you send that to, Ben?
I'm still looking for I saved a picture, but then it got buried somewhere in my phone, and I don't know where it went. So I'm really confused.
Because I was like,
I have no clue.
Digging through Twitter, like, the hell?
Oh no, I have no clue where the picture went.
Yeah, makeup's overrated. I mean, I barely use anything in real life.
I just don't like. I don't know. I see beauty in people. Like wrinkles. Why do we have wrinkles? We have wrinkles because we were thinking, or we have wrinkles because we were smiling, or we have wrinkles because we were frowning. But it's just like, that's life, man. That's life, I don't really like my wrinkles. I'm actually way more wrinkly than I look like on here, because my lighting sucks and I like it like that. And no, but mostly my wrinkles are smile wrinkles. So I'm okay with it. Like everybody's face just shows you where they've been. You look at people's faces, you look at their hands, and you can learn a lot about a person. What some of the struggles they have. You know, I've known people that were cutters and had cuts on the back of their hands. I've known guys that worked in the fields their entire lives and their fingers were like the size of fucking like bratwursts because they were just like muscle everywhere from busting their ass their entire life. You know, but you can learn a lot about people, and I don't see any sense in covering up. Just be you.
One of the things I struggled with at first was the idea of am I going too far? Am I being too girly? Because I saw something on the internet and it was sort of like, you know, trans women don't wear clothes that are too young for you, kind of thing. But then I saw a meme saying, you know, if you see a trans woman wearing something that's too young for her, just give her a break because she wasn't a teenager before. But I've got a style that works for me. I mean, I wear dresses all the time now, mainly because I'm tall. I'm 6'4" tall.
I was going to say you look like you're 5'10" to 6 foot at least.
Yeah,
and I was going to ask, but I didn't want to sound rude.
Yeah, I'm 6'4", so
wow.
You know,
That's
I wish
tall.
I was 5'10". That'd be nice. But
I'm only 5'4".
You know what the problem with having being tall is big feet. Because you need bigger feet to balance you out.
And I bet you have to pay more money for the shoes because women's shoes don't go that big, right?
Exactly. You know, trying to find cute shoes in my size. So what I often do is I buy just like basic white plimsolls, Keds, I think you would call them, maybe.
Okay.
And just paint them in different things.
Okay.
So, for example, I've got a red and white polka dot dress. I painted red on them and left holes in the white.
Cool.
Which looks quite nice. But anyway, but when it comes to my style, you know, because I'm tall, I wear dresses all the time now because I don't want to wear trousers because boy bumps. But also, if I wear a skirt and a top or something, I'm only talking about an inch or two worth of overlap. Otherwise, I'm showing my tummy. And if I reach up for something high, I'm showing my tummy. So to avoid all that, just dresses work for me. And
I'm going to tell you,
style.
I'll give you a different point of view on dresses.
Mm-hmm.
When I was old enough to be cognitive of my environment, you know, like 2 or 3, when you start realizing what's going on around you, because other than that, it's just like I'm a kid and playing with toys.
Yeah.
So about 2 or 3, every time my mom put a dress on me or a skirt or anything girly or pink, I would scream blue bloody murder. And she couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Like she literally didn't know. So one time she was trying to get me dressed for church and I screamed and I wiggled out of the shirt. And I don't even remember this. She told me this. And I went in the closet and I grabbed my brother's old clothes and started trying to put them on. And she was like, oh, my kid does not like dresses and skirts.
Yeah.
And I remember by the time I was 5, like throwing a fit, she kept putting them on me. And I kept throwing a fit. Because, you know, well, I got 3 boys and 3 girls. No, you didn't.
No, see, you didn't. I have this weird conflict because like I like dresses if they're in like a male context. So like I would remember with like in elementary school we had like Roman day and like medieval day. It's stuff like where men would traditionally wear dress like clothing.
So like a
cool
kilt
with that. Like I fucking love kilts. I love kilts.
Right.
I want a kilt so bad. Like love it. I hate it in a women's context though. So it's like, yeah, like the context matters for me. Like it's not so much the article of clothing as it is the context, which says a lot as well because I just don't like wearing it in a women's context.
I just don't. I mean, as soon as by the time I was like 13, 14 years old, I was earlier than that. God, hold on. I got to think. Maybe like 8 to 10, maybe 10. I think I was 10. And I wore all my brother's hand-me-downs. And that's all I wanted to wear. And
I was the only child until I was.
Somebody could get married and I have to put on a dress, you know. Fuck me. I've just felt.
Yeah.
I felt so fucking awkward that I was like this all the time. Like, oh my God, I'm sitting here in this fucking dress. Like, I was just like stressed out and anxious, and I felt fucking horrible. And every picture I've seen of me, except for the ones where I'm standing up and like posing with the family in the wedding, for the wedding picture, every other picture of me, I'm like this, like I'm trying to hide myself. That's how it always was. Yeah, my mom always tried to get me to wear makeup, and when I was 16, my mom and sister bought a bunch of makeup and wanted to do me up, and I had to sit there and fucking let them, because I didn't know how to say no, and I didn't know how to say I'm a trans guy. I didn't even know the word trans back then. All I knew was that when I was 5 years old, Laura, I went to my mother and told her I was mad because I didn't have a penis.
Right.
Like, that's not someone that decides to make a decision about, I'm just going to change my life.
Yeah.
It's just funny, the flip side of the coin for us, you know, as I was just comparing.
My waking up for me was when I was 7, and I took part in a maypole dance. And so there were costumes. The boys wore white trousers with gingham shirts, red, yellow, green, and blue, because there were 2 pairs of kids in blue, red, yellow, and green.
Yeah, because there's like 6 and 6
with ribbons to go with it, you know, the matching ribbons. So you know, you got 16 kids,
right?
And the girls wore these like cute little gingham dresses, you know. And when a boy is 7, that's the kind of age of girls, that's, you know, dancing. That's a girl's thing, you know. So there was this sort of, you know, weird sort of male machismo thing kind of creeping in then, you know. And so, but I quite liked the dancing. And so, but when it came to doing the performance thing, I really wasn't enjoying it. You know, I'm Aspie, so you know, I was like concentrating and frowning, and I was making sure I didn't get the move. You know, I didn't want to get the moves wrong or get out of step or any of that kind of stuff. It all had to be perfect, because I'd be embarrassing myself and the group as well. You know, and so but my dance partner, she was happy and bouncing. She looked pretty and smelled nice, and it just made me think, I wish I was a girl, because then I wouldn't have to worry about this kind of, you know, I'd be in the zone like she was, kind of thing.
Right.
This wouldn't be a almost traumatic thing for me. And that was where it made me start thinking about it, you know. But I played house with a couple of girlfriends, and parents laughed at me. And so, you know, I ended up in one of their dresses, and parents laughed at me. And so it's like, okay, this is not allowed. And so, you know, I buried it. And it wasn't until 15 it came out, and I left home when I was 17, and got my own place when I was 19, and I've been wearing what the hell I want when I'm at home.
Yeah.
So when I actually decided to transition and I actually came out, I just jumped straight into it. I already had a wardrobe. I had more girl clothes than guy clothes.
Marie!
Hi, sweetheart. She was here before we started, and then she disappeared. So thank you for coming back.
She probably went to go take a nap, because we were up really late last night.
Yeah, so by the time I was 18, there was nothing in my wardrobe that was girly. And I've always just worn guys' clothes. And the only thing I've ever worn that I ever bought from the women's section was fucking bras. And I cannot wait until April, or either the last week of April or first week of May, depending on the surgery schedule. But yeah, I can't wait.
It's kind of ironic because
I despise these things. They're just
I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine soon too.
I know. I'm fucking so excited for you too, buddy.
Yeah. See, I've got the opposite thing. Mine are growing, and I'm really happy about it.
Oh, see,
You
and
can
that's
have
funny.
ours. Take ours
Yeah,
away.
yeah. I already offered
don't
mine
want
to
it.
Purple, and I said,
Oh,
"You
yeah.
got to trade. You got to trade. You got to give me something good."
See,
do you know? Do you know what? You want to know something really amazing? And it's. I'm not one of those meant to be kind of people, but I can understand why people would fall for that kind of thinking. So, December 2018, I decided I was going to transition. I didn't decide to be trans. I was always trans. I just decided I'm going to transition. And really, what it came down to in 2018, a close friend died. And it just made me realize life is short. Why am I letting all these other people dictate my happiness for me? Because I'm trying to live for their comfort, not for mine.
Yes.
And so it just sort of, I started going out in real life, and it's like, you know what, this is really working for me. This thing that I've been scared of doing for 18, 19 years.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy. I'm going to keep, And so I decided to transition. So anyway, December 2018, I made the decision, went to my doctors, asked him to refer me. In the January, I found a lump on my right breast. And it's like, uh-oh. And of course, biologically, I was still male.
Right.
And so, and guys can get breast cancer as well.
Oh, yeah. It is a thing, everybody.
Yep.
Don't think you guys should do breast exams too. Literally. Go ahead.
Yeah. So so what happened was it was a bit tender on the nipple area, So so I went to my doctors, and and by then I was living as a woman. And so I was treated like a female patient. They've got something called a chaperone system. Because unfortunately there's been a few cases where male doctors have touched women inappropriately. And there's also been a few cases where women have accused doctors of touching them inappropriately when they didn't.
Yeah, I always have a chaperone.
Yep.
Always.
So,
absolutely.
Yep. So to protect both parties, they have this chaperone system. They don't do it for guys, unless you ask for it, I suppose.
Oh, I do it with every patient, every single one. I get a chaperone. Yep.
So so basically, he checks and under the arm for the lymph nodes and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so definitely got something there. So I want you to go to the hospital for checkup. So there's two choices. You can either go to the local hospital. However, they got a fixed gender clinic system, and because, and I can't remember the way he said it, but effectively, genetically, because I was male, therefore that's the one I would need to go to. However, the other option is Oldham, and they've got a mixed gender clinic, and I think that, and I've worked with them before, she's great. I think that'll be more comfortable for you. So it's like, okay, we'll do that. Yeah. So I went there, treated like a female patient again. Had a mammogram, an X-ray. Yeah. And by the way, those bloody hurt.
Yeah, don't they? Try.
Yeah, because they basically
about
they want
14 cysts between your two breasts, and they're dense, and they squish them fucking flat.
Yeah, because they want them. They want it as flat as possible.
Bawling in with pain every fucking time.
And I don't know. I don't know whether it may have hurt more for me. Not that I'm playing games of like, oh, who hurts worse.
No, I get no.
But because I didn't have much skin, it was more like a pinching rather than a squashing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
and the lady doing the screening, she lied to me. She said it'll only hurt for 10 seconds. She didn't include the sort of 10 seconds to go to walk to press the button on the machine. The machine to take 10 seconds, another 10, 20 seconds to let me out. And they do it twice, sideways and vertically. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so I called in the consulting room when they had the scans. The X-rays, and the lady's there, and she's got a pamphlet, and she said, "Right, great news. Know exactly what it is. It's nothing to worry about at all." So I've got a pamphlet for you now. Something to bear in mind that this is written. It's for guys, but and I recognise you as a woman. I can't remember the way she said it was really, really diplomatically and nice. But effectively, what happened was I had something called gynecomastia, which is breast growth. It's male breast growth.
Really?
And one of my medications has a 1 in 1,000 chance of gynecomastia.
Which medication?
So it was like
which one?
Which one?
Sorry.
Which medication? I'm a medical student, so this is
it's amitriptyline.
What I do.
Oh, what was it again?
Amitriptyline.
Oh, yeah.
Amitriptyline. Oh,
amitriptyline is like has all the side effects for like everything.
Yeah. So anyway, that one, So now, if I was a guy, that would be awful. I'm going to be growing boobs. Oh my god, this is terrible. But for me, it was like my body was saying, "I know you're going to be waiting a long time for hormones. I'll get started without them." And when it comes to HRT, I am really lucky because in the UK, the system for trans people is really awful. You remember that thing I said about the NHS is great at most things, but really rubbish at a few things?
Yeah.
Two of the things that it's really rubbish on is trans care and mental health. So,
welcome to the US.
Yeah.
They're all busy making laws to take it out of the so the insurance doesn't cover it in states.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
I have Asperger's. It took nearly 3 years to get a diagnosis because the local mental health team at my local hospital, I went up there to ask, like, how do I get tested, kind of thing.
Right.
And I was basically told that they don't have a budget for that. They don't test it. They don't really have a budget for it. And their budget is basically limited to psychosis. So basically, unless I was chasing someone up the street with an axe, a threat to someone else or myself, where they, put you in a closed ward and put lots of drugs in you, they just don't have the budget for that. Well, thanks to a history where being trans was considered a mental disorder.
Oh yeah. Don't you love that disorder? Okay, they got to throw that disorder on the back.
Yeah. So because of that, although they don't think of it in that way anymore, the procedural system that they use is very similar. Is still almost like a disorder kind of basis. So the way that the NHS works is, let's say I go to my doctor and I've got I'm feeling a bit funny, and he listens to my heart and he picks up some arrhythmia or something. And he says, right, I need you to go to the hospital to get a checkup. The NHS, if they can't see you within 18 weeks, they will outsource you to a private company. So you get your scan or whatever, and if you need surgery or something else, if they can't see you in 18 weeks, they will outsource it to someone else. They don't do that.
So you don't even know who your surgeon's going to be.
No, but they don't do that for trans care. It's not 18 weeks. So I waited for 927 days, 2.5 years.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it wasn't until early this year that I started getting HRT, like I say, 5 months ago. I was contacted in February, and 18 weeks after that, that's when I got a diagnosis. And then a week later, I was getting my HRT.
Wow.
Now, this only happened because in Manchester is one of 3 pilot programs for changing the trans care system. Instead of being a specialist center where you sit on a waiting list forever, it's done on a primary care basis. So the equivalent of seeing a hygienist or something like that, or, whatever you like. If I was still with Leeds Gender Identity Clinic, which is what my doctor, referred me to when December 2018.
Yeah.
If I was still with Leeds, it would be the end of 23 into 2024. for me to get
Wow.
to the hormone stage that I'm at now.
Let me pause you real quick, Laura, because Ben has to take off.
Yeah, I gotta go real quick.
All right, bro.
So
Peace.
I'll see you guys later.
Okay, take care.
All right,
Nice
bud.
seeing you.
Hope,
Nice
hope
meeting
all
you.
is
Take
well.
care, Ben.
Well, I
Same
guess
here.
Catnip,
Much
you're
better
gonna have to
this
talk to
day.
Laura for a little bit because I gotta hit the head. So I'll be right back.
Okay, fine. I'll try to be interesting for once in my life.
Oh, please. Laura's easy to talk to.
I don't. It's just. I believe you.
I'm good at filling uncomfortable silences. You know, I can talk forever and ever. I do.
Well, I'm great at listening, so we're a match made in heaven.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
someday
like
I'd like to have a
you
discussion
know,
with you, Laura.
I've been really fortunate that because if I lived 10 miles further east, I would be out of the area and it'd be, like I say, 23, 24 for me to get to the hormone stage. Instead, I'm on it a year and a half early, at least. So, yeah, and the weird thing is, once you get a diagnosis, it's a bit like a video game. It unlocks all the levels, kind of thing. So I had some voice coaching, which I could do with improving on. And I can get laser hair removal. I need to get that sorted. So, you know, and like eventually even surgery. And these things don't cost anything. They're done as a part of the NHS. That's how it's, you know, it's done. So I don't have to worry about insurance. Some American style insurance companies saying, "Oh, we don't cover that."
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Night, Junie. Or I don't know if it's actually night there, but I know you posted in the private chat that you're going to need to do homework.
Junie.
Yeah, sorry. I just gotta get going. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. If you have to go, sweetheart, that's fine. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate
take
you.
care.
I love you.
Good night.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. This
Always.
whole week I just needed to either have a chat and what better place than here.
Aw. Well, you know, if you ever need to talk, let me know and we'll do a private stream or something, okay? We only have to go live. We'll just sit in the background and we'll talk, okay? I got you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, sweetheart. I
Take
love you.
care,
Have a good
everyone.
night. Bye.
Good night.
Night.
So yeah, like I was saying before, you know, when it came to my style and the look that I have, I did have a bit of a sort of, am I being too girly? And the thing about it is, it's like, if we look at, you know, how someone presents themselves on the girl spectrum, you've got everything from tomboy to really girly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is there any reason that because I'm trans, I can't be more on the really girly side?
No.
I don't have to be. It doesn't have to be all fully really girly, but you know, there are some things that
you can be whoever the hell you want.
Yeah. And so
You
at
know?
first it's like, am I trying too hard? Am I being a weird stereotype of, you know, and it, because I don't want to be a parody.
Yeah.
But I also have a really cute style as well.
Right. I agree.
You know, I mean, I live in a city, so I don't need, you know, it's a bit like New York. You know, you don't really need a car. You know, we got public transport that does a great job. I ride a bicycle. I've ridden a bicycle most of my life.
Right.
Now,
cool.
Well, when it came to buying, I bought a new bike because having a guy-style bike that you have to pull your leg over while wearing a skirt, doesn't look very feminine. So I went and bought myself a new one, and this, I'll screen share a picture for you. This is my bike now, and it is the cutest bike you've probably ever seen. There you go.
Oh,
I love it.
That's awesome. Is that a new one or an old one redone?
No, it's a new one, brand new.
Oh, okay.
I added the flowers later.
Yeah, of course.
I love the front basket. It's my favorite.
Yeah, the basket is great. I've actually just had to make a modification to it because one of the problems is you can't really put a light on there and have your purse in the basket. So I made I 3D printed one that goes underneath the basket. So it's
that's
free on the bottom.
awesome.
So
Nice.
yeah, but like I say,
That's
it's the
great.
cutest bike
It is
around.
the cutest bike. I don't even like
Yeah,
pink, and I
really
think it's the
is.
cutest bike.
I'm
I'm not
Emily
even into
Marie.
cute anything, but that's a pretty cute bike.
Yeah, let's have a look. A couple of years old now. This was 2019, but that's me riding it.
Oh, the helmet
This
matches.
is
Do you
the
have lights
best
on top of your
picture.
helmet?
Yeah, it's lights.
Oh, that's cool. How smart.
Yeah, they're just cable tied on. Basically, what it is,
That's smart
wherever
because
you
everywhere
look,
you look, you have light.
exactly.
Everybody always attaches it to the bike, but then you can't see shit on the sides.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I get
That's
to a
awesome.
roundabout and I have people pulling out, and so wherever I look, the light is shining.
Yeah,
It reduced my Smidsy count no end. The sorry mate, I didn't see you, Smidsy.
right. Yeah,
So,
for real.
yeah, but like I say, it's a beautiful bike. It rides really well.
Cool.
There's only one thing that's wrong with it. It's got the gears on the right hand side, but it's got the rubber handle that goes, sort of on the end of it. It slides off all the time. If I stare at
Really?
it hard, if I stare at it, it'll slide off. It's so annoying.
It's off of the what? You talking about where the pedal is?
No, the gear. Let me show you. Let me just.
I know what you mean.
To the other picture.
I'm not very bike savvy, but I know how to fix shit. Might be able to tell you how to fix it.
So the gear's there, and it's on the grip shift there. So you just rotate it, and it'll change the gears. But the brown handle piece on the end just wants to slide off all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
I have to literally push it on all the time. Otherwise, I'll lose an inch between one set of traffic lights and the next set of traffic lights.
So get the measurement of around your handlebar and find out what size that is, and go and get a rubber washer.
Right.
That's that size on the inside. Slide it over top, and then slide your handle over top of that. Guarantee it won't come off.
Yeah, I'm actually just about to change the gears as well. So, because I don't like grip shift gears, I prefer trigger gears.
Yes, right.
Yeah, they keep jumping, and I hate it.
Lucifer said they enjoy riding too. I have LEDs on my spokes and my tires are reflective. Good here because we don't have street lights. Yeah. They have rubber bits for bike handlebars. Oh, they have those already? I would just go buy like a ring flat washer. Not a flat washer. Actually, I think it would be called like a seal instead of a washer. But anyways, yeah, you could always, anything rubber that you put underneath of there.
Yeah,
you can remove it easy, but it'll catch on that grip, and it should keep it from moving.
Yeah, an O-ring.
Yeah, you could. Well, see, I wouldn't use an O-ring though because they roll. I would use a flat, wide, seal, and slide that up. That's what I meant, not a washer, but like a seal, and put that over top, and then you can pull the, push the grip over top at the very end of it. Just put it up by close to the shifter, and it won't affect your hands or anything. You won't feel it.
Yeah,
that's what I do. But and just suggestion.
Yeah, good one.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I grew up in a poor ass farm family,
right?
And we had a couple of sayings, and one of them was, "We are Puritans. We make do with what we have," and it was like a joke because we had no money, so we would go and make things. Oh, you need this kind of a clip. Well, we don't have one of those. What do we have we can make into that clip? We can't afford to go buy one. So we did all kinds of shit. I mean, we would go and cut metal and My brothers knew how to weld and shit, and we would just they would make things.
Yeah.
So yeah, just the way it was. So I'm very inventive when it comes to solving weird little issues like that. Yep. No, that's really cool though. I haven't had a bike in years. I was dating this one chick back in, oh my God, what was it? 2016. I dated her for like a month and a half. She was fucking crazy. But anyways, I was dating this one chick in 2016, and we were like walking down the road because she lived like towards the edge of town. She lived in a really nice neighborhood. And so you had to walk like 10, 12 blocks, whatever, up into the middle of town, like for festivals or whatever. And they had some carnival and stuff going on. There's never any place to park. And so we were walking back from there, and there was these bikes sitting next to the road. So I called the number on it and everything. And the guy was like, he wanted like, I don't know, it was something like 50 or 60 bucks per bike. And they were in really good shape. The tires were new. You could tell that he had just been greased, and he reworked everything, and the chains were tight and everything.
No rust.
And there was two mountain style kind of bikes.
Oh, yeah.
And one was a guy's, one was a girl's, technically, dress versus no dress. Let's call it that. The dress versus no dress bike. And then there was a kid's bike. And and she had a kid. So it was like perfect. We were like, fuck it. So we bought them. And she was like, okay, well, I said, well, I'll pay for it now. And then you could just get the money, when you get paid on Friday. And she's like, okay, well, then she started acting all psycho on me and shit. And I was like, hey, can I get the money for those bikes and my bike? Because I had left it there. And she was like, maybe. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even do anything wrong. So she just totally I got screwed out of that. And then now I have a tiny home, and I just didn't have any place to put one. And now I live out on the way out of town. It's totally impractical for me. But
yeah, that's my old bike. Lovely bike. Ran really well. Skinny tires, really good speed.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's a no dress bike.
Exactly. So it just wasn't practical. I still have it.
Cadence, behave. Tight chains.
Hot.
Yeah, Cadence leans hard into BDSM, so I'm just saying.
Gotcha.
Goodness gracious. Well, Sarah, I do have to say I was not ignoring your comments in there, and I'm sorry you're having such a rough time. And that's why I said something today to Heather about getting old or being old. And I said, I swear to God, if anybody puts me in because I said, what was it? Oh, we were talking about wiping people's butts. I don't even know how that came up, but I work in a doctor's office, so it's hard to tell. And I said, I don't want to do that to anybody I'm with. And I said, so Heather, let's just agree now that if one of us gets so fucked up that we need care and we can't get it at home, that we don't torture each other with that shit. Just put me in a fucking home. I don't want to do that to you. She goes, nah, man, I'll never go in a home. See, I was an EMT, and I used to pull people out of those places. And she is a PA of 18 years, and she's seen a lot of shit. So she's like, she said, I'll have what did she say? I'll go to the beach with a margarita and the black pill. And I said, well, let me know. I'll go with you. Can we make that after 90? Because I really would like to have 40 years with you. She said, sure, we'll work on that. That's how I feel. I feel the same way. If your quality of life is gone, I don't, there's companies here actually who they just made a law that they can do a form of assisted suicide.
Right.
But there has to be some serious documentation to it. Yeah. And all the I's and T's have to be taken care of. But yeah, and I'm in New Mexico, and they're doing that shit here now. There's companies that are starting to get into that. So it won't be long before it'll be legal everywhere. What do you think, Bolt?
It's they do
Hope
it
so.
in Switzerland, I think it is.
I just think, if it's I'm not talking about like a 30-year-old who has mental issues and needs some counseling. Like, no, I'm talking about like you're old and you're fucking done and you're done.
Did you just call Bolt old? Is that what I just heard?
No. What?
No, I don't even want.
I
I'm with you on that. I want people to be able to do that if they want to, even if they're not gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like when you get to a certain age, maybe. We do have death with dignity in Washington State, and Oregon has it, and a few other places, I think. So, I mean, if you're terminally ill, you can get a prescription to end your life here in our state.
My only concern would be it becoming mainstream enough that people think, "Oh, I can't be asked with this anymore."
Well,
effectively,
but that's the point.
An
That's
easy
the
way
point
out
of all
of
the
mental
medical
health
documentation,
problems.
though. Like you have to be like they have to prove that you have like a chronic illness. You're going to die. You're never getting better. Like they have once they document all that. I mean, it's not just for anybody. Like you have to be.
I feel like at a certain age it should be for anybody.
Stuck in that bed and you're starting to drool. Like it's time. Kind of shit. So, but there's severe limitations on it.
It comes down to it's quite easy to make the decision for your old dog, but not for you. For yourself.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, though, Sarah. Why is that a big deal? If you want to go and you're fucking old and you're done, who the fuck cares, man? You're not jumping off a bridge. You're not like taking anybody with you. You're not shooting people and then shooting yourself. Like there's way worse ways to die, Right.
You could have your whole family come around before you do it and have a party. And I'm 80 years old. I'm ready to go. Like my mental faculties are gone. I'm kind of lonely.
Yeah, or whatever. Or I'm mentally here and my body is shit.
Right.
And
my body's shit. I'm not enjoying my life.
Yeah, it's like my sister said, Bolt. She had cancer and she said, I'm ready. She was never like big into any kind of Christianity. And she got cancer and she got involved in these groups and kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say she was like a big Bible thumper, but she found God basically, and she was like, I'm ready for God. I'm ready. I'm done.
I bet
because her body was failing on her and her brain was fine. And she was just like, she said, B, there's no quality of life left for, because I said, oh, sis, don't say that. And she goes, there's no quality of life left for me. All I do is go to doctor's appointments and they push chemo in me and they give me radiation and then I fucking puke and I lose my hair. And then when I start feeling fucking better, I got to start another fucking round of it. And she had done it for like 7 years at this point. And she's like, I'm fucking done. And 6 months later, she died from edema throughout her entire body from all of the treatments and everything. Her body couldn't fucking handle processing it all. And she basically drowned in fluid because her lungs couldn't inflate anymore.
Right. And that could have been that could have been a non-suffering death. That could have been while I can still have like a good time, all my friends and family can come say goodbye.
Yep.
And then I can piece the F out and it can be like a massive morphine or something OD and I'm done.
Well, I told you, man, when I go, I want everybody to fucking like get a drink and fucking pack a bowl. It's gonna be like mandatory weed. I'm not kidding. And I want everybody to fucking get together and laugh and say, hey, remember this time when we were all talking to B and that crazy motherfucker said, or remember when B said this and Bolt said, oh my God, like that's what I want. I want everybody. I literally am going to put in my will that for people to come into the funeral, they need to write down something funny that happened.
Yeah, celebrate
we all knew
the
each
fact
other
that
and they
we
bring
were
it
friends.
in and everybody can stand up and fucking read it and have a laugh.
Like, let's celebrate that we knew each other.
Yes. That's what I want everybody to do.
Let's celebrate that we made each other's lives better. And
yeah, man.
I have something on that.
Fuck yeah.
I want to ask I've got a question. And that is
I just didn't hear what question said. What'd you say?
You said she found God. Did you find him where most of the things seem to end up? Back of the couch?
No, it was actually in the basement. He was in a basement of a laundry basket with a couple old socks. Yeah.
Chris, did you have something?
Yeah, I was just gonna tell 2 quick stories.
Go, man.
I think a lot of the times the problem with death is not that people are going; it's that they don't have any notice when they're leaving. Like when your kids go to college, or when people leave home, it's always nicer when you have a couple months or even a couple days to process it and spend time with them, knowing that these are the last of X, Y, and Z. My great grandpa, we lost him suddenly right before Thanksgiving, and the same thing happened with my great grandma. We lost her the day after Christmas. So those were sudden deaths where there was never the last meeting. There was never the last dinner. It was just a struggle to remember the memories that we didn't think were going to be the last of anything. So we didn't really compartmentalize them or anything like that. And then my great uncle, he was sick with cancer, and he decided that he was going to set a date for his death, and that he was going to have 3 or 4 months of just having the greatest time of his life. He traveled, he came back, he had family events. We came over, we stopped by, we had a hell of a time. And then when we went to the funeral, it was less of like, he's gone, everyone's crying. It was more of like, he sure had a great ass time for the past 4 months. Like,
exactly. And that's exactly how it should be.
Right.
I see. This is my theory, right? Get really good life insurance. I have a policy. I think it's like $250,000 or something like that. And I got it back when I was a truck driver, because I got supplemental insurance and just in case something happened to me while I was going over the road. So here's my plan, right? If I can do that, if I know, I'm just gonna fucking get loans in up to that amount and go fucking have a goddamn party and go fucking do whatever. Yes, do whatever you want, and then the life insurance will just cover all the bills.
Right. Yeah, my great uncle literally went from like China to England to different places, and went all over the world, and got as high as he could, got as drunk as he could, and came back and spent his last couple days just with the family, just hanging around, going to some of his favorite childhood spots. It literally was like a full circle of life, where it wasn't one day he woke up and it was all gone. It was on his terms.
Yeah. That's amazing. Wow. Got me all up in my feels, man. What was the other story? Did you say 2?
Yeah. So I was just going to say how, like, I think, especially with religion and the comfort of sort of knowing where people go,
Can you guys get rid of those people that I don't know and are just spamming the shit out of my chat, please? Somebody just get rid of them. There's spanners everywhere. Go ahead.
Yeah, the people in Twitch chat. There's a certain level of religiosity that I think is more comfortable with, like, the deaths that happen suddenly. Like, there's closure in, like, sort of putting it in God's hands, I think, for a lot of people. I wonder how much of that closure would be necessary if people had proper time to grieve before a death occurred.
Right.
You just wonder how necessary leaving it to God would be if you had 2 months or 3 months. Obviously no time is enough time, but some time is better than no time.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And that's like, for instance, with my sister, like, they told her, if you make it 12 years, it's going to be a fucking miracle. You're probably going to make it about 8. And, she had these 2 kids, and she's like, I just want to get them independent enough that they can live without me. That's my goal. And when she told me she was done, she was like, they're old enough. They were 17 and 15. And they were, intelligent kids, fucking good kids. And I feel like she should have had the right to say I'm done. And she should have had the right to, what she did with them, though? She sold off. Oh my God, dude. She had, like, I don't even know how much fucking jewelry and clothes and shit. And she sold it fucking all off. She kept one goddamn ring. One ring. And that was from when her and their dad were married. But they had been divorced, but she kept it in case one of them ever wanted it. Right.
Right.
Everything else she sold off. She took them to the Bahamas. They went to Disney. They just did everything. Where do you guys want to go? This is Yes Day. Where do you want to go?
Right.
And they were like, we want to go to the Bahamas and go like, fucking, what's it called? Paragliding. And then when they pull you behind the boat?
That's parasailing.
Parasailing. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she took them parasailing. They got all these pictures and shit while she was still healthy. And so, that's really the dream. And this is really a cool idea too, for anybody that has this shit in their life and they're looking at definite time of death kind of thing. She took them to a photo studio and she did like, it looked like fucking, I don't know, Better Than the Gap. Keep going up higher. It looked like a fucking professional photo shoot. Right. She had all these different positions and they were being goofy and they were being cuddly and they were just kind of chilling, you know, like this photographer did like 40 different positions. I don't even know. And she took these pictures from this big to this big and put them all over the house.
I mean, that's what
she said. When you look at me and you see me getting sick, that's me. This is just a shell. That's me.
Right.
So she put them everywhere. So every time they saw those pictures, they would remember that. So, yeah, I think it was a great idea. Yeah.
My grandma, you know, on my mom's side,
thank you, Marie.
She's like 62, 63, and she's been having more health problems recently. And the same thing with her and my I call him Papa, but my grandpa on that side too. Those are the people that I live with currently. They're retiring next year. And they're going to do like 5 to 10 years of traveling, going around, you know, bringing a grandkid here, a grandkid there, right? To some places and things like that. And then for the last couple of years, they're just going to sell everything, you know, get rid of everything, you know, pass on the assets so that we all, you know, get, you know, the pictures and all that stuff like that. And we all get little boosts and things like that. And then they're just going to have the elective.
Yeah.
Or they just elect to go.
Yeah.
Because they've been doing it for 60 years. They have a family with, you know, 15 grandkids, right?
Yeah.
They've lived such full lives.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, well, we can't leave any, what do you leave behind you? I'm like, what you leave behind you? What you don't, you have, you know, your legacy is your children and your family and your spouse or whoever's left that, you know, can sit there and go, oh yeah, I miss them, you know.
You're not going to take anything with you when you go.
Yeah, that's all you got, man. And why walk through the world being a fucking dickhead? And more than that, why would you want to do that to yourself? Right. Like you make yourself. I was a dickhead for years. After my mom died, I was a fucking asshole. I really was. I didn't give a shit. People would look at me funny and I'd just fucking punch them. Like I literally didn't care. I was a fucking total dickhead. And one day I realized that I was fucking killing myself. I was fucking myself up and making myself miserable. And it was all me. It was all me. It wasn't the world around me. It wasn't my mom dying. It wasn't anything, but I was doing it to myself. And from that point forward, I was like, nope. I don't do drama. If you're full of drama, have a nice life. I'm done with you. I will warn you not to bring it around me a couple of times and then I'm done. That's just how I am.
And honestly, my philosophy,
I don't want that. I don't want dumpster fires. I don't want crap in my life. I don't want negativity. I don't want fucking racists and phobes and fucking asshole people are going to tell me I'm going to fucking die. And they think they know who I am and they don't even fucking know me. Like know me this much, you know?
Right.
And no, fuck it. I don't have time for it.
The way I see it is you can either spend your life worrying about what you're going to take with you or spend your life worrying about what you're going to leave behind.
That's right. What are you going to leave behind? Oh man, he was a dickhead. It's probably better he's dead. Or yeah. It's all on how you handle it, man.
Right.
The bottom line is throughout life we have so many ways we can lose our power and ourselves.
You know, there's something that
when people are assholes or whatever, and you buy into it, you're just giving them power over you. And so the best way to keep your power and never lose it is just to not let them have it. Just don't let them have it. that's what I figured out years ago, that I was giving people power over me. And I said, you know what? I'll take that back now. I'm done. There'll be no more of that.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's what I did for my transition. It's just like, you know what? I'm fed up of living for everybody else. I'm going to live for me because my life is the one that's important.
Hey, if you don't take care of yourself, who the fuck's going to? The bottom line is you will never have anybody in your life that will be there full time loving you, trying to take care of you if you don't take care of yourself. Because A number one, and I will fucking preach this over and over and over and over and over again, because it's the fucking truth, is if you want to have a productive relationship, whatever that relationship is, whatever level it's on, if you want to have a truly productive relationship with somebody else and you want to truly love that person, you have to love yourself first. You've got to learn. You've got to look at the bad and the good and the ugly and the horrible and fucking accept it or change it, whatever you have to do. But loving yourself is the key to having a good life.
I had to be harsh and basically look and say, nobody puts food in my stomach, clothes on my back, or a roof over my head. They can't take those things away from me. And I am an independent person. It was really hard for me. My mum disowned me the day before Mother's Day because I wanted to go down and give her a Mother's Day gift the next day.
Because what?
I wanted to go down and visit to give her a Mother's Day gift.
Okay.
She made excuses and said she wasn't ready. I'm like, what? Ready for what? For you to be that other person. And I'm like, I'm not a different person. I'm the same person. I'm just not hiding who I am anymore.
Wow.
Anyway, I said, well, how about if I come down as a guy and I just leave them on the doormat for you, and go. And she was like, you don't have to do that. And, unfortunately, I get Asperger's, so, I take people at face value. And when my mum said that, it's like, it's like, well, I don't have to, but, so, I want to because I've got presents for you. So,
Right.
Anyway, so I did get to say that. So I said, well, how about if I mail them to you then? And she, well, that's not fair on you, and I don't want to be unfair. And I said, well, you can't. You are being, and and I meant like all I want to do is come down as a guy, give you a gift. If you don't want to talk, I'll just leave them there. If you want to talk and just don't want to talk about the trans stuff, okay, we'll not talk about the trans stuff. You know.
Let's try to build a bridge here, right?
Yeah, but
baby
I didn't get any of that. I didn't get any of that out. She said, you know what? Don't bother coming down. Just consider me dead, and put the phone down. And I was raging. I was really angry because she does, So I went down. Because one of the things she said, she had a tumor in her thumb and she was going to get it removed that week. And the last thing, I didn't know whether it was being done as a local anesthetic or a general one,
right?
And it's like if she died on the table, the last thing she would have told me is just consider me dead. So I went down, and I approached it like a stern school teacher.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Love you, Catnip. Oh, it's getting late. Shit, I probably should end this soon. Go ahead, Laura. Bye, Catnip.
Okay.
I love you.
Bye, I love you guys.
Bye,
Good night.
sweetheart.
Take care.
Night.
So I shooed the dog off the chair and I sat down. I didn't go for a raised voice. I didn't do the pointing, any of that kind of thing. And I said to her, I said, you don't get to tell me that I should consider you dead. If you want to consider me dead, that's up to you. But you don't make choices for how I should think.
Right.
And other bits and bobs was said, and I had to tell her. I said, "Look, just because I didn't turn out the way you expected, doesn't mean say you failed as a parent. But if you refuse to accept me for who I am, then you'll fail as a parent."
Right.
And her reaction was, she kind of like tilted her head back, sort of like, "Well, I fail as a parent then." It was that the defiance, and the defiance that she was showing there is exactly what I learned from her, and the reason why I was there, because she didn't get to tell me how I should think. So she started to say something, and I said, "Stop. Be careful what you say before you say it, because once you said it, you can't unsay it, you can't take it back." Right. And she said, "Well, I'm not going to take it back. I want nothing more to do with you." And so I got up and I headed for the door, and I stopped and I went to my dad because he was stood next to her, or nearby to her. And I went to him and put my hands on his shoulders and said, "I normally related to you through my mum because he's my stepdad. But just because she doesn't want anything to do with me, don't mean saying it's over between us, okay?" And my voice was starting to break. And he's like, okay. And so I headed for the door, and I gave a sob, and she said, "I'm sorry, upset, but that's just the way it is." And I turned and I said, "No, you don't say you're sorry at the same time as you're pushing me out of your life.
Right.
It's not on, it's not right, and I'm not having it." And I rode home. Now, I'm the kind of person, and there's a good end to this story, so it's not all crappy. So when I headed, I came back home the slow way because my mind was full of upsetness, anguish, and but when I got home, I took my clothes off walking down the hallway, threw them on the floor, and as I threw them on the floor, I went, "Well, I'm not going to need them anymore."
Right.
And over the next 3 weeks, I went through my bedroom and got any guy clothes got lobbed out in the hallway. I live on my own, fortunately. And after 3 weeks, I split them into 2 piles. Anything that had any stains or rips or tears or anything, that went to the garbage. And anything that was good went to a clothing bank. And I kept one set of guy clothes for a year. And after a year, she didn't respond to me. So I can't go to her, because if I go to her, it's just an excuse to reject me. I got to wait for her to come to me, And I've told my dad, that if she ever wants to get in contact, I'm waiting. I haven't closed the door. It's up to her, and it actually makes my life easier because the ball is in her court. I don't have to do anything, But it led to my best day. So my best day was the day I got rid of my first bag of guy clothes.
There you go.
And I was wearing. I had to go into town anyway, so I was wearing. I'll show you a picture. I was wearing a really fitted shift dress. I looked really good, like professional like style kind of thing. Maybe. Yeah. So so I'm wearing this outfit, and a dress like that. There's no room, They're really quite tight fitting, not very comfortable, really. However, in my head, they're very feminine, very mentally comfortable, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So and one of the things as well is that I was wearing some of those tummy slimming undies because they're good for tucking. Because you can't, I don't want anyone to see any boy bumps, but so I ended up, I've dropped off the bag. I'm walking in the indoor market, and in my head, I'm thinking to myself, I hope I'm tucked tight and no one can tell. I'm sure I am, but you know what? Even if they can tell, I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm being true to myself. I'm being me, and no one can tell me I can't look like this or feel like this or be like this.
Right.
And after I was done, I said to myself, "Do you know what? I'm going to reward myself for feeling this good." And so I went and bought myself some fresh flowers, and I do that for myself every fortnight now. That's my little reward for my transition. And a couple of days later, it was a rainy week, but a couple of days later, I got rid of 5 bags. And I've got another picture for you. And this was a selfie I took after I got rid of those 5 bags. And I posted it on Twitter. One of my friends said I looked radiant.
There you go.
That was a wonderful compliment.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was a sense of relief. Right. Because I the guy clothes were an anchor to the past, holding me back, and I've moved beyond that now. So it was your cat's really vocal.
I need to go clean his litter box. He's pissed.
Yeah,
and he's gonna keep doing it because he does that.
Shh. But so like I say, bad things happen, but I'm not going to let those things hold me back.
I know you should.
I did that for 19 years for other people, especially my mom.
Oh, sweetheart, sometime we could talk and I could tell you all kinds of stupid shit I've dealt with in my life.
Yeah.
And like big things, not stupid, horrible things really, but
yeah.
So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I haven't eaten dinner. I'm fucking starving. And Ben was eating in front of me and he's a bastard. No, I'm just kidding. I love him.
It's only first, let me say 4 in the morning for me. So
yeah, you probably need to go to bed anyways. So everybody in the chat, thank you so much. You guys are brilliant and funny and always supportive. And I always appreciate you. And I love all you guys. So thank you for coming and making all my streams better. And
thank you from me as well. There's been a lot of support on there as well.
See, there you go. Good deal. So thank you for Laura too. Laura, thank you so much for coming in, and I appreciate getting to know you. And you're always welcome. You can find me on Twitter if you want, and I usually post links there. So Holy Spackle's got my information, so you can just get it off of her if you want. Okay, cool. Thanks for coming.
Hit the subscribe button as well.
Yeah, damn it. And there is a link. Oh, hold on. Let me do that real quick. Hold on. If you guys want, I'll give you guys Laura's quit. Shh. Oh, he's gonna keep doing it. Okay, so that's Laura's YouTube channel. If anybody wants to check that out, go show some love and spread a little love, whatever you want to do with it. Thank you again to everybody for coming by tonight. I really appreciate you. And remember, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and have some peace in your life.